Part 8. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 71. This is too outrageous. A cultivation level of the first level of the Great Dao realm can actually kill a strong man of the 7th level of the Great Dao realm with perfect sword intention. It's a pity that he is too strong. So powerful that these people won't let him grow up at all. It would be okay if he hid his strength, but now that his strength is exposed, these people will only become more determined to kill him. Yes, in the past and present, who can make the opponent's genius grow? Alas, what a pity. While everyone was talking about it, all the major forces also had strong murderous intentions. Some even decided to sneak attack Xiaoyan the next time he takes action, in order to end Xiaoyan's life. The eminent monks at the Great Thunder Temple were overjoyed when they saw Xiaoyan's talent. If this genius can be used to his advantage, it will be a great help. One of the eminent monks looked at the other man and saw that the other man understood. Takong went forward and performed a Buddhist salute to Xiaoyan. Amitabha, the donor is very talented, but it's a pity that the demonic nature has penetrated deep into the bone marrow. If you can remove the demonic nature, your future will be limitless. Today, the poor monk will take you back to the Great Thunder Holy Temple. Reciting Buddhist scriptures day and night will wash away the demonic nature in your body and help you to be liberated as soon as possible. After saying that, he directly burst out with the momentum of the half-step cave void realm. Everyone was astonished. This turned out to be a powerful figure in the half-step cave void realm. At the same time, I feel contempt for their behavior. A powerful man who was half a step into the cave realm actually wanted to attack a young man who had just reached the first level of the Great Dao realm. And he said such a long list of high-sounding bullshit. The Buddhist monk struck the wooden fish in his hand and muttered something. A golden Buddha light shines above Xiaoyan. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, after walking in the deep Prajnaparamita for a long time, he saw that the 5 aggregates are all empty, and he survived all the hardships. Amitabha, benefactor, if you don't take refuge now, how will you wait? Xiaoyan sneered, you still want to save me? I don't even want to see if you are qualified. Then he punched out, and the flames all over the sky burned instantly, destroying everything. Next moment, he stood in the air and pierced the sky with another punch. Dozens of fists burning with purple gold flames headed directly towards the Buddhist monk. The Buddhist monk did not expect that Xiaoyan's will would be so firm that even his Buddha's voice could not translate it. It seems that the only way is to defeat him first and then save him. Amitabha, the donor has fallen into the devil's path. The poor monk has no choice but to defeat you first and then save you in another way. Although I can't bear to hurt you, I still have to do this. As the saying goes, if I don't go to hell, who will? What he said sounded nice. But the movements of his hands were more ferocious than anyone else's. Why are you talking so much nonsense? It's as if everyone doesn't know your purpose. Xiaoyan pursed his lips and almost vomited because of this guy. The killing moves of both sides collided together, and a terrifying light instantly filled the sky. Seeing this scene, everyone in the Xiao family nodded with satisfaction. Xiaoyan's strength has improved a lot, and even his combat effectiveness has been enhanced. The two sides fought for only a moment, and hundreds of moves had already been made. In the eyes of everyone, Xiaoyan was controlled by the eminent monk in every aspect. In fact, that was not the case. The eminent monk could not break through Xiaoyan's attack. Xiaoyan was suppressed by his moves. The eminent monk did not expect that his cultivation level of half a step in the cave virtual realm would be suppressed by a kid who was only at the first level of the Great Avenue realm. The moment became majestic. There is no trace of the kind-faced and kind-eyed Buddha and Bodhisattva who saved all sentient beings. Is this the true ability of the eminent monk? If this is all you have, then you are not qualified to save me. A punch hit the air, and flames shot up into the sky. It turned into a spiritual light and condensed into a cluster of purple-gold fireworks. In an instant, he was forced to face the eminent monk. The eminent monk was like a reincarnated devil at this moment, and his attack on Xiao Yan became murderous. A person who is only at the first level of the great Dao realm wants to kill a poor monk. He is overestimating his own abilities. When the two sides' killing moves collided, the eminent monk was directly knocked back by Xiao Yan's punch. Then he was seen rising into the sky, and the endless flames turned into a fist hundreds of meters high, heading towards the eminent monk's chest. Everyone was horrified. Xiao Yan wanted to directly kill this powerful figure in the half-step cave void realm. Right now, a holy monk from Dalai Holy Temple recited Amitabha and came through the air. He is actually a great expert in the cave realm. I saw him waving the alms bowl in his hand into the air. Coupled with the aura and pressure of his own cave void realm, bursts of golden light emitted from the alms bowl. Countless swastika characters floated out from around the bowl, easily breaking Xiao Yan's blow. The benefactor is so young, but his demonic roots are so deep. Today I can only do justice for heaven. Then the alms bowl flew into the sky above Xiao Yan, and countless golden lights shrouded Xiao Yan's body directly. The terrible pressure pressed on him instantly, even though Xiao Yan was invincible in the great Dao realm. They are not afraid of the power of Dongxi realm, but the gap in strength is insurmountable. Just when everyone thought Xiao Yan would die, suddenly a beautiful figure floated in the air, bringing with it the fragrance of flowers. It was like an immortal descending to earth, and then he saw a pair of slender jade hands gently holding the alms bowl. Underneath that alluring face was a pair of eyes that looked down upon worldly affairs. The alms bowl that originally suppressed Xiao Yan had turned into gold slag in her hands. The eminent monk in the cave void realm also spat out a mouthful of old blood at the moment the alms bowl shattered. This is a natal magic weapon refined by Buddhism. This magic weapon is closely related to oneself. If the magic weapon is damaged, it will suffer corresponding backlash. At some point, Xiao Yan suddenly jumped up. In front of everyone, kill the eminent monk who is half a step into the cave virtual realm with one punch. I saw a section of his arm penetrated the monk's body, and blood slid down his body. Immediately afterwards, a flame filled the sky and burned his body directly. Without the pressure of the strong men in the Dongxi realm, Xiao Yan would have no restraints. Everyone originally thought that Xiao Yan only had the ability to defeat the eminent monk. Unexpectedly, the other party could actually kill him. What surprised them even more was Xiao Qingyun, the monarch of the southern Ming dynasty. Originally they all thought this was a puppet monarch. I never thought that her strength was no less than Xiao Jiangxin, who had already become famous in Tianzhou. Even worse. It wasn't until this moment that they suddenly realized. If they can become the Xiao family's genius, how can their strength be inferior? I didn't expect that Xiao Yan's strength is so terrifying. He can kill even half a step in the cave virtual realm. This Xiao Qingyun is also an unparalleled genius. Even the great masters of the Dongxi realm were seriously injured. She is still at the peak of the great Dao realm. She didn't even make a move. It's so terrifying. Their strength and talent are indeed unparalleled, but the more this is exposed, the more determined those forces are to kill them. It's a pity. If only they could continue to be patient, they wouldn't have to die so early. At the same time, the murderous intention in the hearts of the five major forces is even worse, and now the Xiao family's genius has brought suppression to them. If they are allowed to continue to grow, even they themselves will not be opponents of these people. Not to mention those younger generations who cannot be considered geniuses compared to them. The five major forces looked at each other. They saw murderous intent in each other's eyes. None of these people from the Xiao family can be kept, otherwise they will bring endless trouble to them in the future. Almost at the same time, several powerful men from the cave void realm set out together. Launched a fierce attack on Xiao Yan. The other part is eyeing Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Jiamian, and others who have not yet taken action. As for the Great Thunder Temple, 3 Buddhist monks from the cave void realm were dispatched. The 3 major leaders of the Blood Knife sect also took action at the same time. At this moment, Buddhism keeps saying to eliminate demons and protect the way. But he teamed up with the demon cult to deal with Xiao Qingyuan. For a time, the sky was divided into 2 colors, gold and black. There is an extremely weird feeling. Xiao Qingyuan was so provoked by the scene that he couldn't help laughing. This smile made even the 3 Buddhist monks in the cave void realm unable to resist the temptation. Is this what you call slaying demons and protecting the Tao? How ironic. Xiao Qingyuan's words at this moment cannot make everyone in the Great Thunder Holy Temple feel ashamed. They have only one purpose now, and that is to kill everyone in the Xiao family one by one. Seize the Kailan sect's most precious treasure from them. The Xiao family couldn't stand it anymore and launched an attack directly. When Xiao Jiangxin saw this, he jumped up. With a wave of the long sword, the terrifying sword power instantly exploded. I saw a sword light flashing in the void. The other party directly fell to the death of 3 great masters of the cave virtual realm. Everyone suddenly felt frightened. With just one sword, he killed 3 powerful men in the cave void realm. Xiao Jiangxin is worthy of being famous in Tianzhou, even in Tianluo territory. This sword will not be an exaggeration even if it is recorded in the history of history. Seeing this, the Dragon clan attacked Xiao Jiangxin directly from behind. But Jamal Xiao blocked his way. Everyone, your opponent is me. Jamal Xiao twitched the corners of his mouth and swung them Mjolnir in his hand. In an instant, thunder rolled from the sky, and purple thunder and lightning instantly struck down from the sky. One of the Dragon clan was killed on the spot. But this is not over yet. When you come here today, you must know that there is only one way for you to die. If you meet this young master, you will die, and you will die well. I admire your courage, but I despise your strength. You are lucky to be able to fight against me. Even without looking at the appearance, everyone could tell that this was Xiao Yanyo. And just by showing up, he suppressed dozens of powerful beings from the cave void realm. How powerful is this kind of strength? At this time, Holy Monk Chuiwen of Dalei Holy Temple could no longer sit still. If they are allowed to continue, the one who will die will not be the Xiao family, but their 5 major forces. Donors, if you don't take action now, when will you wait? The remaining major forces are also aware of the current situation and cannot allow them to delay any longer. The Dongxi realm expert who originally planned to deal with Xiao Xian had to appear now. Everyone soared into the sky and attacked the Xiao family's geniuses at the same time. However, a young man in green clothes suddenly appeared in front of them. The people in Zhuanlun mansion naturally recognized Xiao Tianyuan. However, they did not take Xiao Tianyuan seriously. After all, he had already had his heavenly bones dug out. No matter how powerful he is only at the peak of the 9th level of the Great Dao realm. But they are all powerful in the cave void realm. This is simply a crushing existence. Even those who are at the peak of the Great Dao realm dare to stop in front of us. They are overestimating their own abilities. Death to me. Xiao Tianyuan's face was calm, and he showed no fear in the face of the powerful killing move of the Dongxi realm. I saw a big hand coming from above. The terrifying coercion not only broke through the killing moves of several powerful men in the hollow void realm. He even killed one of them directly. Everyone gasped when they saw this. Those before were just geniuses. The one in front of me is a peerless genius. Just relying on his cultivation at the pinnacle of the Great Dao realm, he was able to defeat the 3 great masters of the cave void realm. You can even kill it? How outrageous this is! At the same time, everyone also believed that the Xiao family could develop to this point. All because they obtained the Kailan sect's treasure. The Kailan sect was synonymous with power in ancient times. Even though it has been destroyed, his treasure has never been spread. But Xiao Xian obtained such a treasure and used it. He developed the Xiao family from a small place and a small family into a dynasty. Regardless of strength, power, or even genius, they are all beyond the reach of ordinary people. You know, any family, as long as there is a genius. Those are all worthy of outside attention. And the Xiao family suddenly gave birth to 5. There is even a peerless genius. How can one not be moved by this? Therefore, all the forces present became extremely united at this moment. All of a sudden, all the great masters of the cave void realm launched a fierce attack on Xiao Tianyuan. How could Xiao Tianyuan, who had been blessed with the secret technique of the desolate heaven emperor, be afraid of several Dongxi realm powerful men? Cross-level challenges are a common occurrence for him. On the other side were Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, Xiao Qingyuan, Xiao Jiamian, Xiao Yanyao, and others. Relying on the cultivation of the great Dao realm, he can directly suppress a powerful Dongxi realm to death. This is simply unheard of. These geniuses of the Xiao family are each stronger than the other. The Xiao family is indeed a legendary family. With the current strength of these geniuses, they can destroy the 5 major forces. The strength of these geniuses is a bit too terrifying. Although the Xiao family is a small family in a small place, their strength has become coveted by many parties. I don't know if the Xiao family can survive this difficulty this time. To be honest, I can't bear to see such a talented person fall. Who knows what the outcome will be until the end. As of now, the geniuses of the 5 major forces are completely defeated by the geniuses of the Xiao family. Xiao Tianyuan, the most powerful among the great geniuses, was thundering in the sky with his fighting power at this moment. The terrifying killing move is enough to create a new world. Every move contains terrifying killing intent. Today, let me get rid of you first. At that time, go to Zhuanlun Mansion and take Lin Shan's head. At this time, the 9 great masters of the cave void realm from the Zhuanlun Mansion and the Yuhang Emperor dynasty were suppressed by Xiao Tianyuan. When the people in Zhuanlun Mansion heard Xiao Tianyuan's words, they couldn't help but sneer. I'm afraid you are not qualified to fight against our holy son Linshan. Xiao Tianyuan was not angry and slowly stretched his hand into the air. A long sword flew from the sky to Xiao Tianyuan's hand. Then there was a burst of air, and the sword energy filled the sky, bringing with it the oppression of the sky. This sword directly killed a Dongxi realm strongman from Zhuanlun Mansion. Seeing that their own side was defeated, the powerful people behind Zhuanlun Mansion and Yuhang Emperor could not sit still. A powerful figure at the 4th level of the Tribulation Realm rose directly into the sky and appeared in front of Xiao Tianyuan. Boy, we were just fighting with you, but you were so cruel that you actually took their lives. In this case, let me meet with you for a while. As soon as the Tribulation Transcending Realm expert came up, he launched an attack on Xiao Tianyuan. The pressure of the Tribulation Realm locked Xiao Tianyuan instantly. However, when he took action, a golden sword light cut through the void. Under the incredible eyes of everyone, the powerful person at the 4th level of the Tribulation Realm had his throat sealed with a sword. Fallen on the spot. Then his body fell into the formation below and became the aura that nourished the formation. Why do you need to interfere in the fights between the juniors? If you want to have a discussion, my master would be happy to accompany you. I saw a man dressed in white suddenly appearing in front of everyone. And that sword light just now was just Xiao Xian's sword energy. He didn't even take out the crescent moon sword, and directly killed a powerful man who had transcended the Tribulation Realm. Everyone looked at Xiao Xian in horror. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 72. As soon as Xiao Xian took action, the rest of the Tribulation Realm masters sensed a hint of danger. He has an innate aura of strength that is enough to suppress everyone. Even the powerful ones who are in the realm of transcending tribulation are somewhat afraid of him. Not to mention, he also relied on his cultivation at the 9th level of the Dongxu realm to instantly kill a great master of the Tribulation realm. If that sword had fallen on me just now, I'm afraid I would have become the sole nurturing spirit of that formation. The Great Tribulation transcending power who witnessed the man's death couldn't help but feel a little scared. I am also glad that it was not me who was killed by Xiao Xian just now. The peak of Dongxu realm actually has the terrifying strength to kill the Great Tribulation Master. It is really shocking. The head of the Xiao family is indeed a legendary head. Challenges to higher levels are commonplace here. Looking at it like this, the Xiao family seems to be in a position to reverse the situation. I think the reason why the Xiao family has reached this point is inseparable from the Kailan sect's treasure. After everyone heard this, they all acquiesced to the man's words. Otherwise, the Xiao family is an inconspicuous small family. How they rose up in such a short period of time cannot be attributed to them. The other 14 great beings in the Tribulation realm witnessed this scene. I don't know whether to step forward or continue to remain in a stalemate. They looked at Xiao Xian with eyes full of fear and fear. One of the great masters in the Tribulation realm directly questioned Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian, you must be where you are today because of the Kailan sect's treasure. Otherwise, how can you fight against us? Hearing this person's question, everyone turned their attention to Xiao Xian. The most precious treasure of the Kailan sect, that was the treasure that everyone wanted to get in ancient times. The power hidden in the dark also heard this. He showed a scorching look in his eyes, as if Xiao Xian would admit it as soon as he opened his mouth. They can rush forward and take possession of the Kailan sect's most precious treasure. Facing the attention of so many forces, Xiao Xian admitted generously. So what if the Kailan sect's most precious treasure is in my hands? Can you still snatch it away? Xiao Xian's response made everyone jealous. How could he have such an opportunity to obtain the Kailan sect's most precious treasure? He even used this Kailan sect's treasure to develop the Xiao family so well. If this treasure is in their hands, just a few breaths. The news that Xiao Xian possesses the Kailan sect's most precious treasure has already spread in Tianzhou and even Tianluo territory. Even the powerful officials in southern Xinjiang were attracted by this news. The Kailan sect's most precious treasure, even a being like the Supreme Lord, is very excited. At the same time, somewhere in southern Xinjiang, there is a palace that is always burning with flames. A man in red robes with 2 clusters of flames burning on his shoulders slowly opened his eyes. The most precious treasure of the Kailan sect must be my master. Then he jumped up and appeared in the sky. The speed is staggering. Just the leak of the breath has destroyed a small world. The most precious treasure of the Kailan sect makes even the Supreme Lord's heart flutter. It was just a legend at first, but I didn't expect it to be true. As the master of the Divine Fire Palace, he has the cultivation of a supreme master. If you can get this treasure, even becoming the legendary Hunyuan saint is not a problem. The one who had the same idea as him was the master of Nanyuan of the Nanyuan Holy Dynasty. The moment he received the news, Lord Nanyuan revealed his true form and headed towards Tianzhou. How could the master of the Chang'e sword sect let go of such an opportunity? He was seen carrying the sword energy of ice and snow all over his body, and quickly headed towards Tianzhou. I'm afraid if I'm a step too late, I'll miss the most precious treasure of the Kailan sect. The 3 supreme masters were dispatched at the same time. This shows how important the Kailan sect's treasure is. In Tianzhou at the same time, the powerful person behind the scenes of the 5 major forces felt the aura of power gradually approaching. They showed up at the same time and made an appointment with each other. The leader of the Blood Knife sect was the first to speak. Now that the news of the Kailan sect's treasure has spread, the 3 supreme masters are about to arrive. What do you think? Of course we must fight quickly, otherwise by the time they come here, not to mention fighting for the treasure, even their lives will have to be taken care of here. But I think we can join forces to kill Xiao Xian with one blow, and then divide the treasure among ourselves. By the time those supreme masters arrive, we will already have what we want." The other 4 people nodded after hearing this. "Now there is only this way." Then, they moved at will and appeared in front of Xiaoxian in the blink of an eye. The 14 great masters who were besieging Xiaoxian also received news of a quick victory. Therefore, without saying anything, they directly launched an attack on Xiaoxian. "You have the ability to find the treasure, but you also have to have the ability to protect it." 14 great tribulation masters took action together. No matter how powerful Xiaoxian is, he can't defeat all 14 of them at the same time. He can always find his weakness and kill him. The demonic cultivators of the Blood Knife sect were exuding black energy, and the boundless demonic energy instantly enveloped Xiaoxian. Amitabha, back then our great Thunder Holy Temple handed over this treasure to the Kailan section. Now many years have passed. It's time to take it back. The donor, please return it to me. At this moment, Holy Monk Chuiwen no longer acted coyly, but he still used high-sounding words to cover up. The Yuheng Emperor, Xuanlun Mansion, Jiaolong clan, and others could no longer stand it. A series of terrifying pressures locked on Xiaoxian's body. Facing the simultaneous attacks of so many strong men, Xiaoxian could still remain calm. Even a look of indifference. "It's just you, I'm afraid you don't have the qualifications yet." An indifferent tone and a calm expression, even if he did nothing. There is an absolute overwhelming momentum. It gives people the illusion that he is the one who can transcend tribulations, and the person opposite him is the cultivator of the realm of transcending tribulations. His words also completely angered the 5 major forces. Everyone was furious and took action, terrifying killing moves coming from all directions. Xiaoxian didn't care. With a sword in hand, everything will be destroyed. The terrifying swordsmanship broke through the clouds, and the cold sword power cut through the sky. Wherever the sword passed, it was when the killing move in the tribulation realm was broken. The waning moon sword rises, blood dances in the void. A sword that destroyed the heaven and earth stretched out from the void. The boundless sword power seemed to open up the world again. Subsequently, under everyone's gaze, a Tathagata Buddha statue appeared behind Xiaoxian. It is very different from the Buddha statues you usually see. The Buddha statue does not have a benevolent appearance, and there are countless green dragon patterns carved on its body. All of a sudden, the phantom suddenly turned into a height of 99,999 feet. Then take a step. Even the sky trembled. A sword fell. Sword chi that combines sword intent, sword power, the secret of swordsmanship, and the mystery of its attributes. With the combat power increased by 3650 times, they merged together. This sword. It can be called the best sword in the world. This moment. The expressions of the 14 great masters in the tribulation realm changed drastically. The power of the sword was such that the 14 of them could not resist it even if they used combo attacks. They never thought about it either. The natal dharma of the Dongxi realm is actually so powerful. With the sword energy, you can make the sky tremble and the heaven and earth change color. Only a being like the king can be summoned. For a while, the 14 great masters of the tribulation realm all used their own defensive shields. At this time, they couldn't escape even if they wanted to. The sword above the void finally fell. The sword energy that filled the sky directly defeated the 14 great masters of the tribulation realm. Everyone who suffered such heavy losses no longer has the ability to fight anymore. Even simply standing up is difficult. Countless people were frightened by Xiaoxian's sword. Just the power of a sword. Then the 14 great masters of the tribulation realm were severely injured to the point where they no longer had the ability to fight. No one expected that Xiaoxian's strength would be so terrifying. Immediately afterwards, Xiaoxian swung his sword again. With this sword, even the void was split open by him. The 14 great masters of the tribulation realm felt terrified. At this moment, they saw the shadow of death. At this time, a majestic voice came from far away. "Don't be so presumptuous." Just a voice easily resolved Xiao Xian's sword. The person who came was none other than the leader of the 5 major forces. The opponents all have the strength to kill the Dao King. Xiao Xian's sword move was broken, and 5 more Dao-slaying kings appeared. This is unexpected. Even the king of Dao slayers has appeared. The Xiao family is really hopeless this time. This is really a waste of money. To deal with the Xiao family, even the Dao slayer king level figures are dispatched. I thought the Xiao family would turn the situation around this time, but I didn't expect that they would still be unable to escape the fate of being destroyed. No matter how lucky the Xiao family is, they can't resist this level of power. Countless people are lamenting the future of the Xiao family. Some people even began to regret the fate of the geniuses of the Xiao family. The 5 Tao-killing kings, headed by the Shadow King of the Blood Knife sect, appeared in front of Xiao Xian. Originally, they wanted to watch Xiao Xian beheaded by his men. Unexpectedly, he was defeated by Xiao Xian. The other disciples under their command were also dying and injured. When several people saw this, their expressions suddenly darkened. At the same time, the 5 great geniuses of the Xiao family also ended their battles. The powerful men brought by the 5 major forces, except for the 14 great masters of the tribulation realm who were rescued by the king of Dao Zhan. None of the others survived. The great geniuses of the Xiao family shook their heads with regret. It would have been nice if these 5 Tao-killing kings had come a little later. Then these 14 great masters of the tribulation realm will all die. The family's formation is nourished by spiritual energy. What a pity. Seeing this scene, the faces of the 5 supreme masters became more and more gloomy. The Shadow King stared at Xiao Xian coldly. The pressure of the Supreme Lord broke out and tried to suppress Xiao Xian on the spot. However, how could Xiao Xian, who had deepened his profound meaning, be intimidated by his momentum? Mysterious meaning, that is the artistic conception of being able to stand shoulder to shoulder with kings of the same level. When the 5 people saw this, their murderous intent became even stronger. All I saw was a swaying void. The color of heaven and earth changes. An invisible pressure in the void turned into a big palm strike. With the powerful momentum of the king of killing Dao, it was enough to kill Xiao Xian on the spot. The other 4 great masters saw the scene and did not feel anything was wrong. On the contrary, they were looking forward to what Xiao Xian would look like after this palm was struck down. Everyone at the scene fell silent. They looked at Xiao Xian who was about to be killed. There was no trace of ridicule, just a sigh. Under the absolute strength of the king of Dao Zhan, he was crushed. So what if Xiao Xian was the genius of creation? He couldn't withstand such an attack. Under such pressure, the geniuses of the Xiao family gradually became unable to hold on. Countless people feel sorry for them. However, everyone in the Xiao family still looked magnanimous. Even the geniuses behind Xiao Xian faced such pressure without changing their expressions. In their eyes, this is just the only way for them to become gods. Even while being crushed by this kind of coercion, they were able to gain new knowledge from it. The 5 Tao-killing kings looked at the scene with sneers. They have reached this stage and have met many geniuses who are even more powerful than them. But wouldn't the final result be death at their hands? So what if the genius of the Xiao family is powerful? Aren't you going to die here just like those people? Xiao Xian no longer hides. He took out the martial god stone. The moment I just took it out, the powerful pressure belonging to Saint Hunyuan spread to all directions. The terrible breath seemed to break the sky. The huge palm just now also touched this breath and turned into nothingness. At the same time, the supreme masters who were rushing towards Tianzhou felt this aura. They all stopped one after another, and they were even hesitating whether to continue to Tianzhou. Because this aura belongs to the Hunyuan saint. That is an existence that can crush them. Even if they are the supreme masters, they cannot release their auras so far. However, that powerful existence not only does not need to be released, it just stands there. The coercion emanating from his body was enough to crush them. For a moment, everyone's mind showed a back figure. That was an existence that frightened them. If it is really him here, then even if they go, they won't get any benefit. He might even be offended by it, maybe because of the legend back then. It will be fulfilled again in them. When the time comes, it will be them, as the Supreme Masters, who will achieve the realm of cultivation throughout their bodies. There is no way to escape from the distance of his finger. This is the existence of that realm and the absolute gap between them. After confirming the aura, several people's expressions changed and they did not dare to act rashly. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 73. As soon as the martial god stone came out, the 5 Dao-slaying kings were immediately shocked. The coercion that erupted from this stone was enough to suppress them all. Although many people don't know the martial god stone, they also know how powerful it is. With just a wisp of breath, the killing move of the Dao-slaying king can be easily resolved. This kind of strength cannot be underestimated. However, even if the 5 Dao-killing kings faced such a powerful martial god stone, he still chose to take action against Xiaoxian. It's just a stone, but I want to see how powerful it can be. I saw the Shadow King suddenly slashing with a knife, and the world shook. The magic power all over the sky burst out instantly. Wherever the sword light passed, nothing was spared. The huge black magic sword struck at the martial god stone with endless sword power. At the moment when they were about to touch, the Shadow King showed a disdainful smile. At this time, the god of war stone flashed a ray of light, instantly shattering the sword that carried the king's full blow. Everyone was shocked by this scene. The 5 Tao-killing kings also became solemn at this moment. Even they did not dare to take the move that Shadow King had just made head-on. And that piece of martial arts stone can resolve the killing move with just a wisp of breath. Could it be that this is the most precious treasure of the Kailan sect? This idea flashed in the minds of countless people. They firmly believe that this is the most precious treasure of the Kailan sect. Even the mighty one who was the Dao-killing king's eyes became hot at this moment. As soon as they move, they will go to snatch it. At this time, if you don't snatch it, take it as your own. When the Supreme Lord comes here, there will really be nothing left. However, just then, the martial god stone gradually glowed with a green halo. Countless streams of light turned, and a few big characters suddenly appeared on the martial god stone. It has reversed chaos and cut down the heaven and earth through the ages, shattered the yin and yang and gone against the sky. The way of heaven has no beginning and no end. The moment this line of characters appeared, countless people felt a shock all over their bodies. It was a kind of eternal and desolate momentum. They could even feel the sad atmosphere. Countless people trembled. Who did this? The way of heaven has neither beginning nor end. What kind of strength does this have to say such a thing? Wu Shi, who is he? Just with these bursts of breath, I can feel myself being crushed by him. If this person had been at the scene, I don't know how he died. Could this be the powerful man who destroyed the Kailan sect? Even the full strength blow of the 5 Tao-slaying kings couldn't get even close. This shows how powerful it is. Suddenly everyone started talking. Wu Shi's name also spread throughout the Tianluo territory at this moment. At the same time, after hearing Wu Shi's name, the 5 great slaying kings felt their whole bodies tremble. As Dao-killing kings, as long as the other party is not a being like the Supreme Lord and the Hunyuan Saint. They can all be said to be invincible. Over the years, they have traveled through countless regions with their own cultivation. He has also participated in large and small sect and family wars, and has seen many strong men fall or rise. So when I hear this sentence, their hearts are shocked. This is an existence that is enough to crush them into pulp. Immediately, the Tao-killing king from the Great Thunder Holy Temple suddenly woke up. At this moment, he didn't look like an enlightened monk at all. Instead, he looked like he was grinning with his teeth bared and his eyes full of majesty. Xiao Xian. What is your relationship with Xiao Wuxi? Others may not know. But the other 4 Tao-killing kings who have traveled across countless regions all know Xiao Wuxi's reputation. That is an existence that can suppress a world, comparable to the way of heaven. After hearing the question from the monk of Dalai Holy Temple, several people fixed their sights on Xiao Xian, just waiting for his answer. Everyone saw that the 5 great slaying kings became so nervous after hearing Xiao Wuxi's name. They were all curious about this person's origins. Who is Xiao Wuxi? Even a being like Dao Slayer King is afraid of him. Looking at it like this, the other party may be the existence of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, with their strength, how could they be afraid? Xiao Wuxi is actually related to the Xiao family. Can the Xiao family save the day this time? I guess you haven't seen that the 5 Tao-killing kings all became nervous after hearing Xiao Wuxi's name. However, those on the sidelines who heard this sneered. He even felt sad for the ignorance of these people. When everyone saw this person's appearance, they couldn't help but feel a little angry. Before he could accuse him, he heard the man begin to analyze the background behind the 5 major forces. The Supreme Lord is indeed a powerful being, but the Supreme Lord is not enough to make the 5 great Dao-killing kings fearful. He pointed at the eminent monk at Dalai Holy Temple and shook his head slightly. This one is a monk from the Great Thunder Temple. Although their highest level of cultivation is only the 9th level of Dao Slaying King. But don't forget, they all came from Xiaolian Temple. What kind of existence is Xiaolian Temple? How can you be afraid of an existence like the Supreme Lord? Everyone suddenly realized. Xiaolian Temple is one of the 4 major Buddhist temples, occupying an exclusive area. It also has a powerful person like the Supreme Lord sitting there. In addition, it is also the closest existence to Laiyan Temple. Then he pointed at the Shadow King. The Shadow King is the deputy leader of the Blood Knife section. Their leader is a Supreme Master. Not to mention their own strength, given their close relationship with the devil, will they be afraid of the Supreme Lord? Although the Jiaolong clan is a hybrid, they still have a trace of true dragon blood in their bodies. There are only so many dragons in the entire Tianluo territory. It can be said that one of them affects the whole body. Even if they don't have a powerful person like the Supreme Lord sitting in charge, with this kind of team fighting posture, it's not certain who is afraid of whom. Although Xuanlun Mansion only has the power of 1/2 step Supreme Master, don't forget it. This is a 1,000-year-old family. It can stand for thousands of years. Is it really just what it seems on the surface? As for the Yuhang Emperor, although it does not have the power of the Supreme Lord, there is still a powerful person who is not dead. The Great Master is now also breaking through to the realm of the Supreme Lord. Now he is just waiting for the days to come out of seclusion. With such a strong background as the 5 major forces, does the Supreme Lord deserve to make them so nervous? This person analyzed the backgrounds of the 5 major forces one by one. Everyone thought they understood instantly, even if they met the Supreme Lord. If the other party wants to take action against them, they have to think carefully. So, there is only one possibility that can scare the 5 major forces like this. The other party is the existence of Hunyuan Saint, and he is also a living Hunyuan Saint. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Hunyuan Saint. That is a legendary existence. No wonder the five major forces are so afraid. It's no wonder that Xiao Xian has such confidence and dares to fight against the five major forces. It turns out that there is a Hunyuan saint in their family. But why haven't I heard him say it before? I didn't even mention it, if it weren't for Xiao Xian showing the martial god stone this time. They don't even think about it. This Xiao Xian is not only tolerant, he is also an old cunt. If there was a Hunyuan saint in any family, they wouldn't tell it everywhere. But this Xiao Xian is really calm. Until the critical moment, people were stunned and didn't speak. However, some people noticed something was wrong. The Xiao family has Saint Hunyuan in charge. Why haven't we seen him come forward to help in so many years? You must know that the Xiao family has experienced several major crises of being destroyed. If only the Hunyuan saint was here. The Xiao family doesn't need to go through these crises. Even those people have to step forward to lick them. As soon as these words came out, everyone smelled an unusual smell. Could it be that this Hunyuan saint is a descendant of the Xiao family? Otherwise, why hasn't he shown up yet? I don't think that Saint Hunyuan will help the Xiao family. If he really wanted to help, how could he watch the Xiao family be wiped out back then? You know, the Xiao family was a big family back then. This is enough to prove that Saint Hunyuan did not want to help the Xiao family. Thinking of this, everyone also looked at Xiao Xian, just waiting for his reply. Faced with the Shadow King's question, Xiao Xian did not say anything. He didn't even frown, obviously he didn't want to answer the question. What a courage! The Shadow King was instantly furious. When had he been ignored by a mere ant in the cave void realm, if not for the coercion of the Hunyuan saint? At this moment, he had already cut Xiao Xian into thousands of pieces. Xiao Tianyuan suddenly remembered that Xiao Xian asked him about his little grandfather that day. It turned out that he had known for a long time that his little grandfather had found the opportunity and became the supreme being. Hearing Shadow King's question, Xiao Tianyuan sneered coldly. Xiao Wuxi, my grandfather's youngest direct son, Xiao Xian's brother-in-law, and my Xiao Tianyuan's little grandfather. Hear Xiao Tianyuan's answer. Everyone was frightened again. I originally thought that the Hunyuan saint was just a collateral branch of the Xiao family. Unexpectedly, he was not only Xiao Xian's immediate family member, but also his brother-in-law. And that Hunyuan saint has countless legends, but he has no love entanglements. This also means that there are two uncles and nephews, Xiao Xian and Xiao Tianyuan. He is the only relative of the Hunyuan saint. At this moment, everyone looked at Xiao Xian with fear. No wonder he can remain so calm when facing so many opponents. This is too sinister. However, Xiao Xian was madly complaining about the system's inhumane settings in his heart. Forget about finding him an uncle, it has to be a biological uncle. He is the protagonist. After being awesome for so long, it's so fucking awkward to suddenly call someone uncle. If Xiao Xian's voice is heard by everyone, the answer that is almost certain is that he will be scolded bloody by them. There is no doubt about the existence of Hunyuan saint. No one would even doubt the credibility of Xiao Tianyuan's words. At this moment, everyone's eyes were focused on the five great slaying kings. Want to see what choice they will make. However, after hearing about Xiao Wuxi's reputation, the five great slaying kings, his whole body was shaking, and there was deep fear in his eyes. This is still Xiao Wuxi's name. If he were present in person, what a powerful presence he would be. Others may not know. However, the five great Dao-killing kings knew Xiao Wuxi very well. There are countless legends about him. The most widespread one is his cultivation speed. No one among the geniuses at the same level can rival him. In the face of this rapidly improving strength, we need to face it. There is also the prying eyes and murderous intentions of all forces. However, thousands of years have passed. Those powerful holy lands and ancient tribes all disappeared one by one in the long river of history. And where they disappeared, this sentence will be left behind. It has reversed chaos and cut down the heaven and earth through the ages, shattered the yin and yang and gone against the sky. The way of heaven has no beginning and no end. It was precisely because of their understanding of Xiao Wuxi that they would hear his name. So frightened. At this time, a shadow appeared on the god of war stone. Then Shuiying put his hands behind his back and turned his back to them. Even if he didn't see the front, the momentum he exuded was enough to make everyone present feel an unprecedented sense of oppression. After seeing the phantom, the 5 great slaying kings' legs went limp. They actually knelt on the ground directly, if they weren't at the level of Dao Slayer King. I'm afraid that this moment has turned into nutrients for the Xiao family's formation. Even relying on his own cultivation, he stood up tremblingly from the formation. Several people no longer have the same attitude of being proud of the heroes just now. And the phantom, just a back figure, makes people feel like they are facing the way of heaven. Xiao Wuxi truly deserves his reputation. In full view, the phantom moved slowly. Just raising his hand caused thunder to roll from the sky. The pupils of everyone who had been staring closely at the phantom suddenly shrank. Everyone was shocked by the scene in front of them. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 74. Xiao Wuxi raised his hand slightly, and the 5 Tao-killing kings showed no ability to resist at all. Under the silent, invisible, and colorless pressure, it was completely destroyed. The onlookers were horrified. They didn't expect Xiao Wuxi to take action suddenly. And as the king of Daozhan, he doesn't even have the ability to fight back. Countless people looked at the phantom in horror and just waved their hands. Just let the 5 Tao-killing kings be wiped out in ashes. You must know that they are existences that can destroy a world. But in the eyes of Saint Hunyuan, such a being is like an ant. It can be crushed with just a wave of your hand. With such powerful strength, he is worthy of being a Hunyuan saint. Immediately afterwards, Xiao Wuxi waved again. The powerful men from various major forces who were originally hiding in the dark let out screams one after another. The onlookers couldn't help but look sideways. There were only strong men from the 5 major forces, and there were even strong men who wanted to take a share of the war. They all showed up at this moment. However, before they could make any move, they turned into streaks of blood mist and disappeared between heaven and earth. The corpses of strong men turned into rain of blood dancing in the sky. It has become the aura that nourishes a land. Even the Xiao family's formation has been strengthened a lot. At this moment, other forces hiding in the dark retreated. Some have even left quietly. However, he didn't escape far before he turned into a blood mist and disappeared from the world. For a while, everyone who wanted to escape also gave up the idea of escape. If you run away, you will die. If you don't run, you will die. The eyes they looked at Xiao Wuxi were full of fear. At this moment, they felt unprecedented fear. I don't even know why Xiao Wuxi suddenly went on a killing spree. He was afraid that he would be the next one to be killed. In front of such a strong man, they couldn't even escape. Why are you so afraid of being like this? Although Xiao Wuxi has banned killing, he doesn't kill everyone. Suddenly someone in the crowd spoke. Didn't you see that the people who died all had grudges against the Xiao family? Some of them wanted to carve up the resources of the Xiao family. Being reminded by this person's words, everyone immediately became aware of the current situation. Yes, I was just wondering why the man next to me died and I was still alive. It turns out that the man next to me came to avenge his son. When you said that, I also remembered that I was still standing side by side with a few men in black when I put them down. But they died, but I was unscathed. The fellow Taoist next to me just now used a hidden weapon when Xiao Jiangxin took action. Although Xiao Jiangxin was not hurt, he was also killed. When everyone heard such comments, they suddenly realized. It turns out that Saint Hunyuan doesn't kill everyone. He targets those who have grudges against the Xiao family. I was scared to death, so I said, how could I still be alive when everyone around me was dead? I thought there was some pattern, but it turned out to be like this. Others patted their chests, feeling lucky to survive the disaster. It's okay, I'm just a theater goer. Although I have been killing Tao Kings for many years, I also know how much I weigh. This time I came here just to watch a show, but I didn't expect that I accidentally lost my life. Sage Hunyuan is worthy of being a god of war. Just a shadow can become a suppressing existence. It's no wonder that the 5 Tao-killing kings were so frightened that they trembled after hearing his name. Everyone was talking about it for a while, and all they had was endless awe for Xiao Wuxi. The Hunyuan saint, also known as the god of war, is an existence that can almost stand side by side with the way of heaven. At this moment, Xiao Wuxi waved his hand again. Countless people are waiting for the result of this time. However, the scene was completely silent. Not to mention the screams, there was even no wind. Did God of War make a mistake? Or was he just stretching his muscles just now? It shouldn't be. The first time I waved my hand, the 5 great Dao-killing kings were wiped out in ashes. The second time I waved my hand, the enemy in the dark turned into blood mist, and he waved his hand for the third time. It shouldn't be so peaceful. However, the situation in southern Xinjiang is already boiling. A scream resounded across the sky, and countless people were attracted by the scream. It seems to be the master of divine fire. Someone recognized the divine fire master in red robes. Seeing the horrific injuries on his body, many people felt their scalps go numb. The divine fire lord is the ruler of one party. There are few opponents in southern Xinjiang, but now he has been seriously injured. Even if it has been seriously injured to the point where it cannot even control simple flight. The Lord of Divine Fire did not dare to show any resentment or resistance. He stabilized his figure and fell to his knees. He thanked someone in the air and said, "Thank you, Mr. Xiao Wuxi, for showing mercy. This junior is blind to Mount Tai. I don't know if you are protecting the Xiao family. After I go back today, I will definitely come to thank you in person." Everyone was surprised by the scene dominated by divine fire. The Lord of Divine Fire, as the emperor of one party, was seriously injured to this extent. How dare you not complain and even kneel down to beg for mercy? This is something they can't see at all. Everyone present is Ling Longzin. After hearing Xiao Wuxi's name, everyone associated this matter with the Xiao family. After all, the Xiao family possesses the most precious treasure of the Kailan sect. During this time, powerful men from all major forces also gathered near the Xiao family. Now even the Divine Fire Lord was seriously injured and knelt down to beg for mercy. 2 words instantly appeared in everyone's mind. God of War. Only the Hunyuan Saint, who is known as the God of War, has such strength to severely injure the Supreme Lord's Divine Fire Lord. After the Divine Fire Lord felt that the pressure around him had completely disappeared, he slowly stood up. There was no emotion in his lowered eyes, and he paused for a moment. He quickly left here. At the same time, the other side of southern Xinjiang, a blue mandarin bird that was hundreds of thousands of feet long let out a shrill scream. Then he was suppressed by an invisible force and fell heavily to the ground. And formed a huge pit. There is a raging fire burning inside, and wait until the fire dissipates. Only then did everyone dare to come forward and watch. I saw that one of the wings of the blue mandarin bird had been burned. Only half of the other wing is left, even if it has become like this. The green mandarin bird was still whimpering, as if begging for mercy. Everyone was completely shocked by this scene. the majestic Qing Yuan lord of the southern Yuan dynasty was actually severely injured to the point of begging for mercy. And the only one who can severely injure him is the Hunyuan sage, who is known as the god of war. Almost at the same time, in another world in southern Xinjiang, a man in purple was now pale and half kneeling on the ground covered in blood. This person is the Sword Emperor of the Chang'e sword sect, and he has lost an arm at this time. Even the divine soldiers who had followed him for hundreds of years disappeared without a trace. Same as the Lord of Divine Fire and the Lord of Qingyuan. Even if he suffered a fatal injury, he still had to kowtow to that person and thank him. Finally, the moment the pressure disappeared, the Sword Emperor looked in the direction of Tianzhou with fighting intent, and then quickly left from here. At the same time, people who suffered heavy losses came from all directions. The injuries of the supreme masters who can already be crowned emperors are getting more serious than the others. Without exception, even if they are severely injured, they must kneel down to apologize. There is news that the Lord of Divine Fire, Lord Qingyuan, and the Sword Emperor were severely damaged in southern Xinjiang. It quickly spread throughout the Tianluo territory and even reached Tianzhou. Everyone in Tianzhou was immediately horrified after hearing the news that came from thousands of miles away. News came from the Chang'e sword sect that the Sword Emperor was severely injured by an unknown force, and even the divine weapons disappeared. There is news from the southern Yuan Holy Dynasty that the wings of Lord Qingyuan were burned by unknown fire. Huo Fengguang's arms were chopped off, and his cultivation level plummeted. It will take at least 100 years to break through to the Supreme Lord again. News after news came here from all over southern Xinjiang. There are strong people who have been the Supreme Lord for many years, and there are also strong people who have just been promoted to the Supreme Lord. All of them were seriously injured by Xiao Wushi's wave of his hand. Some need to start all over again, while others are lucky to be able to save their lives. At this moment, everyone present also knew. Xiao Wushi waved his hand for the third time, wherever it went. The god of war is worthy of being a legendary being. With just a wave of his hand, the supreme ruler of the entire southern Xinjiang was severely damaged. This is just an existence named God. If a real God comes, wouldn't it mean that he will open up the world again? I didn't expect that the Xiao family is really closely related to the god of war. Now it seems that Xiao Xian was able to obtain the Kailan sect's treasure and develop from a small family to the present. What is the real reason? If I had a relative like the god of war, I would have to walk sideways. For a family blessed by the god of war to develop rapidly in a short period of time, it's just a piece of cake. For a time, countless people lamented that the Xiao family had a martial god sitting in charge. At the same time, he also looked at Xiao Xian with great envy. Being able to be an uncle and nephew with the martial god is something that you can't even dream of. At this moment, everyone looked at Xiao Xian and the Xiao family. Apart from awe there is only envy. Xiao Junlin rolled his eyes fiercely as he listened to the voices coming from all directions. Xiao Xian, this old bastard, solved this difficult matter without doing anything. Although the martial god stone is real and the martial god is real, your special mother's cunt is also real. Just throw out a martial god stone and let them figure it out on their own. Lao Yin is so lifelike that she deserves to be an old yin. Not only can he use people, but he can also use things, and it's so well used, just like your face. Don't go to the extreme. Xiao Junlin was madly complaining and insulting Xiao Xian in his heart. If it weren't for the current situation, Xiao Xian would really want to beat Xiao Junlin. Then sew his mouth shut? It's so annoying. However, Xiao Xian was too lazy to explain what everyone was thinking. Anyway, his matter has been solved, let them do the rest. At this time, someone in the crowd suddenly shouted loudly. I received a letter here about Xiao Wushi's deeds. Hearing this voice, everyone gathered around the man. He kept asking about Xiao Wushi. Even Xiao Xian and others were listening to this person's reply. Xiao Wushi, When he first entered Zhongtian, he was still a young and weak boy, and his strength was only at the cave void realm. But with such strength, there is no opponent at the same level, and he is even able to leapfrog the challenge. Later, he continued to make breakthroughs and went from the cave void realm to the Supreme Lord in just 10 years. It is precisely because of his rapidly improving strength that he has been watched by the elders, including the ancient Holy Land and ancient tribes. They launched an attack on Xiao Wuxi together and wanted to capture him. However, at that time, Xiao Wuxi relied on the second-level cultivation of the Supreme Master. Directly severely inflicted heavy damage on the opponent's two elders, and even killed all the Supreme Masters at the same level. And successfully escaped under the siege of everyone, just when everyone thought that Xiao Wuxi would survive anonymously from now on. He appears again, this time his cultivation level is that of a god of war. Everyone who heard this couldn't help but gasp. The Supreme Lord's cultivation is enough to escape under such a strong lineup. It can even counter-kill so many powerful opponents. And in just a few years, he directly broke through to the martial god realm. This kind of strength is simply too incredible. Ordinary people don't have dozens or hundreds of years to succeed. In this battle, the opponent dispatched two martial god realms. I originally thought that this war would last for 100 years. However, Xiao Wuxi used only 2 moves to seriously injure the opponent's martial god and fled directly back to the ancient clan. However, Xiao Wuxi did not continue to pursue, but sent 2 phantoms to pursue. It was these 2 phantoms that not only killed the 2 martial gods, but also destroyed the ancient clan that had existed for hundreds of thousands of years. Then he destroyed the 2 holy places and left a message behind. From then on, Xiao Wuxi's reputation was completely established in Zhongtian. Some people even call Xiao Wuxi the number 1 person. When everyone heard this, they could no longer describe their feelings in words. 2 phantoms can destroy 2 holy places. It's so scary. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 75. They knew that the Hunyuan saint, known as the god of war, was extremely powerful. But he didn't expect that they were both at the martial god level. But Xiao Wuxi was able to become the first among the martial gods. How powerful is this level of strength? It's no wonder that Xiao Wuxi is called the number 1 person in Zhongtian. At this time, everyone looked at Xiao Xian with extremely envious eyes. Being able to be related to the god of war would be worth dying for. There have long been rumors in Zhongtian that Xiao Wuxi has broken through the martial god and entered the realms of gods. Today, he saw the phantom of the martial god here. Xiao Wuxi has always been a dragon that never sees its end. This time he actually came forward to help the Xiao family. It is really unexpected. Everyone couldn't help but be filled with emotion. The look towards Xiao Xian changed from envy to wanting to replace him. Although the martial god is already the number 1 person in Zhongtian, he has no wife or son. As his only nephew, how could Xiao Xian just stand by and watch? Maybe the inheritance in the future will belong to Xiao Xian alone. After all, this is his only direct bloodline. Everyone nodded in agreement. As Xiao Wuxi's nephew, Xiao Xian can be regarded as his only descendant. If the Xiao family encounters any problems, he, as an uncle, will naturally take action. Maybe the Kailan sex treasure was also found by Xiao Wuxi. And he also gave guidance to the young children of the Xiao family. Therefore, when everyone looked at Xiao Xian, they were once again filled with envy. Xiao Wuxi's shadow also returned to the martial god stone after waving 3 times. But this time no one dared to underestimate Xiao Xian. No one dared to cause trouble to the Xiao family anymore. After all, they are a family blessed by the god of war. If anyone wants to meet the king of hell as soon as possible, he can challenge the authority. However, Xiao Xian was very indifferent to this. After the matter was resolved, he returned to the Xiao family with all the geniuses of the Xiao family. As for outside news and rumors, that is beyond his control. After this battle, the geniuses of the Xiao family also became role models for the younger generation. Just Xiao Jiangxin relies on his cultivation at the beginning of the Great Dao realm, overwhelming more than a dozen strong men with high-level cultivation in the middle and late stages of the Great Dao realm. This is not something ordinary people can do. Not to mention the one with only a pair of slender hands. It shattered Xiao Qingyun, a Buddha who cultivated his natal alms bowl in the half-step cave void realm. And their head is even more terrifying. He could instantly kill a powerful person in the tribulation realm with just one sword stroke, and his cultivation level was only at the peak of the Dongxi realm. It even severely damaged 14 statues at the same time, which is really amazing. But compared to these, what everyone paid more attention to was the martial god stone in Xiao Xian's hand. Not even any cover-up. His eyes were so intense that he could even be said to be staring at him with eagerness. Xiao Xian suddenly felt that the martial god stone in his hand was extremely hot. Then I thought that I was suddenly assigned a little uncle by the system. My heart became even more irritable. He threw the martial god stone directly to Xiao Jianfeng. Elder Jianfeng, keep this martial god stone and take it out when you need it in the future. Xiao Xian's expression was indifferent and indifferent. It even gives people a feeling of disgust. Even if it is true, they will only think that Xiao Xian dislikes them. After all, the martial god stone is extraordinary. When Xiao Jianfeng saw that Xiao Xian didn't care about this martial god stone, he secretly greeted him from head to toe. In the end, he was cautious and even used his true energy to catch the martial god stone. Master, this is the martial god stone, you have to be careful when handling it. Xiao Xian glanced at it nonchalantly. If it breaks easily, don't call it the martial god stone, call it gravel. Xiao Jianfeng almost didn't curse after hearing this, if it wasn't for Xiao Xian's reputation as the head of the family. He really wanted to stamp his feet and point at Xiao Xian to teach him a lesson. Although martial gods are powerful, they are not rare, especially in our Xiao family. In the near future, my Xiao family's martial gods will be able to occupy half of Zhongtian. Xiao Xian's words made Xiao Jianfeng roll his eyes fiercely. Although there are many geniuses in the family, becoming a martial god is not difficult. But this will take decades or even hundreds of years. Xiao Jianfeng carefully held the martial god stone and walked towards Xiao's house. Even the eyes are shining with light. Xiao Xian couldn't help but rolled his eyes. When Xiao Qingyun left, he also took Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, and Xiao Jiamian with him. Xiao Xian did not interfere. He is also aware of the situation in Nanming now. After learning that the Xiao family had the Kailan sex treasure, all the major forces came to the Xiao family. As a dynasty surrounding Nanming, they were unwilling to be suppressed by Nanming. I have been keeping an eye on him for a long time, and now I have seized the opportunity to attack him in one fell swoop. However, when word spread that the Xiao family and the martial god were connected by blood, those dynasties were dumbfounded. They changed their strategies one after another, from attacking to attacking. Some are even willing to become tributaries of Nanming, as long as they can have their own rights. However, how could Xiao Qingyun easily let go of this good opportunity to expand Nanming's sentence? Since the founding of the Nanming dynasty, it has gradually stabilized. It is even just one step away from the dynasty. This time the surrounding dynasties invaded in one fell swoop, literally stretching their necks to bleed her. Therefore, at her command, Nanming led his troops to attack the surrounding dynasties. This attack left them without any ability to fight back. Plus the relationship between the Xiao family and the god of war. Many dynasties even surrendered on their own initiative in just a few months. Nanming became the only dynasty in Tianzhou. Xiao Qingyun was also blessed by the luck of the Jade Seal of the state because of his cultivation of supreme supernatural powers. The realm of cultivation directly breaks through to the realm of transcending tribulation. Even Xiao Jiangxin and others broke through two realms in this battle. Xiao Qingyun is very confident about her improvement in cultivation level and will wait for her to digest all this luck. Coupled with the cultivation of the Supreme Divine Court, breaking through the Dao-slaying king is not a big problem. News about the Xiao family quickly spread throughout the Tianluo territory. Even southern Xinjiang was boiling over this. In addition, this time Nanming was promoted to become the only dynasty in Tianzhou. People in southern Xinjiang also call the Xiao family in Tianluo domain. This has also become a name given to the Xiao family by the forces in southern Xinjiang. In addition, this time the martial god Xiao Wuxi inflicted heavy losses on the supreme masters in southern Xinjiang. As a result, most of the forces moved away and retreated into seclusion. The Blood Knife sect directly led a group of disciples to the demon cultivation headquarters. There wasn't even time for buffering, for fear that the Xiao family would settle the matter. Coming to settle accounts with them, it would be impossible for them to escape unscathed from the previous vengeance of annihilating the family. After returning to the Xuanlun mansion, he immediately went into seclusion to practice, and even his own power shrank significantly. The Jiaolong clan moved directly to the East China Sea on the day of the move. Tens of thousands of dragons flew in the sky, attracting attention instantly. The monks of Dalai Holy Temple fled with hundreds of thousands of disciples as soon as they received the news. The emperor of the Yuheng dynasty was deposed, and as soon as the new emperor took office, he began a purge of the court. Anyone who has anything to do with the previous monarch will be removed from the list, and all relatives of the emperor will be removed from Yudi. Those who were involved were executed or exiled on trumped-up charges. As for the previous monarch, he went to take care of the imperial mausoleum, which was guarded by dedicated personnel. Except for the little princess practicing in Xuanlun mansion, the rhizome veins of the previous emperor. It can be said that everything was liquidated this time. As for the little princess, even if she is not expelled, she no longer has a place in the palace. After the new monarch took care of everything, he personally went to the Xiao family with gifts to apologize. The explanation given to the Xiao family was that the previous monarch had launched an army for his own selfish desires, regardless of the common people in the world. Although everyone knew that the Yuheng emperor launched the attack for the Kailan sect's treasure. But this is what the previous king declared to the outside world, and it was also an excellent excuse for him. As for whether the Xiao family will accept it or not, that is another matter. In the Will House, Lin Shan angrily crushed the jade slip in his hand. Naturally, he also knew the outside news. What a person at the pinnacle of the great Dao realm, but he can fight against a group of strong men in the Dongxi realm. Good. It's really great. So what if you have such strength? Without the heavenly bones, you can only go so far. Lin Shan smashed the table in front of him with an angry palm. He is clearly the one with the heavenly bones, so why is it Xiao Tianyun who steals the show? Obviously they are all going to die, but they have been blessed with such a fate. Even the god of war is his little grandfather. Obviously I am the proud one of heaven. Not only does he have talent, he also has excellent training qualifications. Why was everything taken away by Xiao Tianyun? If the god of war were his little grandfather, the Lin family would not have wiped out their entire family, and the people from the Xuanlun mansion would not have done this to him. After Xuanlun mansion learned that the Xiao family was related to the god of war. In order to prevent the Xiao family from coming to their door, Lin Shan was expelled regardless of his qualifications. If it weren't for Lin Shan's master, he would have given up a lot of real power and resources. I'm afraid Lin Shan has been kicked out of Xuanlun mansion at this moment. However, Lin Shan was overwhelmed by jealousy and resentment. At this moment, he not only resented Xuanlun mansion and Xiao Tianyun. Even this master also held a grudge. In his eyes, his current experience was also fueled by his master. At this time, There was a knock on the door. Lin Shan looked at the closed door coldly, and then his face changed. "Brother Lin Shan, are you there? I want to see you for something, can you see me?" Xiao Didi's crying voice came in from outside the door. She is the little princess of the former monarch of the Yuhang Emperor dynasty. Hearing this voice, Lin Shan snorted in disgust. If she hadn't been a rare furnace, how could I have committed myself to her? "Princess, you are here." Lin Shan opened the door and saw a crying face, and he wiped her tears with distressed eyes. "Brother Lin Shan, I am homeless. My father was imprisoned, and the prince's brother and uncle were killed. Now Lin Shan hugged her distressedly and said in a gentle tone, "Don't cry, you still have me. With me here, you can still be as carefree as before." Lin Shan's words made the young princess feel happy, and she knew it. Even if everyone stays away from her, brother Lin Shan will not abandon her. Looking at the person nestled in his arms, a thought suddenly flashed through Lin Shan's mind. Immediately afterwards, he led the people in. A burst of greetings all reflected the nature of a warm man and successfully captured the girl's heart. Seeing that the time was right, Lin Shan kissed her gently on the forehead, tentatively touching her red lips. The girl's heart was beating wildly, and she felt confused. She has been waiting for this day for a long time. The moment Lin Shan left her lips, she hugged Lin Shan's waist tightly, her tone was coquettish, her eyes blurred. "Brother Lin Shan, I..." Lin Shan picked her up and walked slowly towards the house. Sudden. Lin Shan's body exuded bursts of demonic energy. This demonic energy directly entered the body of the girl beneath him, sucking the life out of her body. "Brother Lin Shan." "Shut up." Lin Shan no longer concealed anything at this moment and revealed his true face. "If I hadn't seen that you are an excellent furnace, how could I show weakness in front of you?" Looking at such a strange forest mountain, the girl's face was full of horror and disbelief. But at this time, she was already a lamb on the desk, with no way to escape. She thought Lin Shan really loved her, but she didn't expect that the other party would always treat her as a furnace. After an unknown amount of time, the demonic energy within the curtain gradually disappeared. At this time, Lin Shan was sitting cross-legged. Next to him was a mummy that had lost all its vitality. Behind him was a terrifying black demonic figure. With a demonic roar, Lin Shan's cultivation level directly reached the cave virtual realm. The furnace cauldron body is indeed worthy of its reputation. Not only can it feed back its own essence and blood to me, even the realm of cultivation and enlightenment can be absorbed. With the blessing of magic power, my combat power has now been increased to 600 times. You can be said to be invincible among the same level. Xiao Tianyuan, I want to see who is more powerful between you and me. Lin Shan's hand gently rubbed the mummy beside him. The next moment, a burst of demonic energy emitted, and the mummy was instantly wiped out. At this moment, Lin Shan had strong confidence in his cultivation realm and strength. In addition, he possesses heavenly bones and has excellent cultivation qualifications. At this moment, he got feedback from the furnace body, and he had full confidence. Able to kill Xiao Tianyuan with one strike? Taking a deep breath, Lin Shan turned around and walked outside. Xiuanlun Mansion, Dongxu Realm ranking, besides me, who else can occupy a high position? Then, he walked towards the center of the Will Palace. As for the dead little princess of the former monarch of the Yuhang Emperor, naturally no one would care about it. The Yuhang Emperor will not have any questions about this person. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 76. Another half year has passed since the 5 major forces besieged the Xiao family. Various places in southern Xinjiang also stopped for more than half a year because of Xiao Wuxi. But the Xiao family residence was as lively as ever. Not only major forces came to show their goodwill. Even the supreme masters in southern Xinjiang who were severely injured by Xiao Wuxi's shadow also sent congratulatory gifts. The Holy Dynasty of the Southern Yuan Dynasty congratulates the head of the Xiao family for recognizing his kinship with the god of war, Xiao Wuxi, and sends him 10 plants of thousand-year-old chalcedony and 100 caddies of imperial medicinal herbs. The Chang'e sword sect congratulates the head of the Xiao family for understanding the deeper secrets of swordsmanship and sends 5 10,000 years 9-tune spiritual ginseng and a copy of king-level swordsmanship techniques. Shenhuo Palace, congratulations to the Xiao family for their further advancement in cultivation. They have sent 3 middle-grade spiritual veins and 500,000 spiritual stones. The Dragon Clan of the East China Sea has sent 100,000 shark beads, 10,000 caddies of ambergris, and 3 low-grade spiritual veins. Congratulations to Nanming for becoming the first dynasty. In addition, other major forces also found strange reasons to come to send gifts and congratulations. For example, the grandson of the Xiao family, Man Yu, is a genius who has broken through to a small level. Even the first word a baby speaks can be a reason for them to give a gift. This is how to establish friendship with the Xiao family. Even powerful people like the king of Dao Slayers personally came forward to give gifts. Just to meet Xiao Xian, so as to claim that he has some kind of connection with the Wuxian family. This shows how powerful the martial god's name and strength are. The gifts alone are enough to make all the major forces jealous. Not to mention those powerful people who personally go out to seek friendship. However, what Xiao Xian did was, I accept the gift. Meet, no need to talk. This can make the 9 elders, including Xiao Jianfeng, panic. This is a perfect opportunity to connect. However, no matter how much they tried to persuade me, it was of no use. Missing is missing. Not only did Xiao Xian not come forward. Even the geniuses including Xiao Jiangxin chose not to meet. Even if the opponent is a Dao killing king level existence, they can face it calmly. Even the head of the family is like this. Even if the 9 elders are determined to build a good relationship, they can only suppress their thoughts. In fact, in Xiao Xian's eyes, these relationships can be made or not. The reason why they came over like licking dogs. It is simply because the Xiao family has a martial god sitting in charge. What if they don't? This compliment, which is like a farce, will naturally not appear. Just like they did to the Xiao family back then. Whoever is stronger has the right to speak. This is an eternal truth. Instead of spending time trying to improve this relationship, it would be better to work on improving yourself. This is also the common thought of all the geniuses of the Xiao family. Although various external forces are extremely dissatisfied with this, they do not dare to complain. In the past 6 months, Xiao Xian's cultivation level has still remained at the peak of Dongxi realm. But his other aspects have been greatly improved. On weekdays, in addition to all kinds of flowers, I just find things to do for Xiao Junlin, who is in debt. Today, however, several of the Xiao family's geniuses gathered in Xiao Xian's yard. At this moment, Xiao Jiangxin, Xiao Yan, Xiao Jinjian, Xiao Yanyao, and Xiao Tianyuan were competing in the sky. And it was Xiao Tianyuan alone versus Xiao Jiangxin and 5 others. Looking at the fluttering white clothes, he stood with his hands behind his back. He has the temperament of I don't care about fishing, I only fish in the cold river. This disgusted Xiao Junlin to death. Pooh! You old cunt, you are so good at pretending to be 13 even in a competition, your pretending is going to break the heavens. But Xiao Tianyuan's qualifications are damn good with this attitude, he is probably about to break through again. As expected of a genius with immortal bones, he can still gain the upper hand against Xiao Jiangxin and 5 other people at the same time. This qualification and talent are unrivaled. Looking at the entire Xiao family, only this old bastard can suppress him. Bah, you old bastard, you shameless old bastard. Xiao Xian is watching the battle of several people. Behind him, Xiao Junlin was cursing in his heart without stopping for a quarter of an hour. If he hadn't practiced Go Shen Dao, Xiao Xian really wants to be reincarnated as a human being. The reincarnated heavenly lord, who still has such a bad mouth, should be beaten to death. But he can't come with Xiao Junlin openly, he can still use dirty tricks secretly. He has already called himself an awesome guy. How can we fulfill this title if we don't do something? Junlin, little kid, I heard that a mysterious person helped your sister when she was training outside. Xiao Junlin continued to complain about Xiao Xian, and suddenly heard the other party ask this question. He immediately cheered up and was very cautious even when answering Xiao Xian. This is impossible, but my sister's qualifications are not bad. Could it be that someone who has a crush on her is helping? Old bastard, you actually want to trick me? No way. Could it be that he discovered something? No, every time I transform into a mysterious person, I am very cautious and cannot be discovered. Wait a minute, why am I bothering with this? If you, an old cunt, hadn't given my sister such a difficult task, I would have had to pretend to be a mysterious person. How about you? You've done something immoral and you're still asking me here, although you can get very generous rewards every time you complete a task. But this is what my sister deserves. Besides, you don't have a rule not to allow the mysterious person to help. Listening to Xiao Junlin's inconsistent answers, Xiao Xian looked at him with a half-smile. By the way, a demonic beast from the half-step cave void realm has recently appeared on the Himalayas. I think your sister has completed her recent mission very well. Let her go to this excellent training opportunity. Xiao Junlin became very angry after hearing this. You haven't been home for a long time, right? So, I'll give you half a month's leave, just in time to go back and spend time with your father. Let him see if your elm head is open. Even though it is a piece of rotten wood, it can still be used for carving. You are Kukaki. All of you, this heavenly lord is, bastard. I can't find anything to say to him. Master, my sister is only at the 9th level of the golden body. You ask her to kill a monster that is half a step into the cave void realm. Aren't you deliberately trying to embarrass her? Are you sending her on a mission, or are you sending her to die? Xiao Junlin protested to Xiao Xian, very dissatisfied, thinking that he would give up his idea. Who knew that this guy would just pass the blame to him? That's right. Let's do this. You go back and ask your sister. If she says it can't be done, the head of the family will take back the task. Yes, saying it is the same as not saying it. With his sister's character, she would definitely say that this was a test for her from the head of the family. If his sister was put to the test, he would cry like a pug. Not only must we deal with the aftermath, but we must also protect her. Don't let others discover your identity. What a sin! What's more, the stupid sister held her chin in admiration and said, "The head of the family has said that I have extraordinary talents and good qualifications. I can also endure hardships and can complete tasks well no matter how difficult they are. He trusts me very much, so every task he assigns will be much more difficult than others. This just proves that he takes a fancy to my qualifications. Also, every time the mission encounters danger, a mysterious person will appear to help me. I knew that it must be the arrangement of the head of the family. And this is also his test for me. So no matter what kind of task the head of the family assigns to me, I will work hard to complete it. I will never let the head of the family down. Junlin, you must remember to serve the master of the family well. You know, being favored by the master of the family is something that no one else dares to think of." Since then, Xiao Junlin has been afraid of his sister. Not only would he not say anything bad about Xiao Xian in front of her, but he would not even mention Xiao Xian's name. But even so, I come back every time I complete a mission. His sister wanted to catch him and tell him again, and Xiao Xian sent a mysterious person to help her. This made Xiao Junlin very worried. Obviously the mysterious person is himself, and he is also the one responsible for the aftermath. Why did all the credit go to Xiao Xian? That's not all, he still has to remember his sister's 3 famous sayings. Listen to the family master, follow the family master, and be grateful to the family master. What a big deal. When Xiao Junlin thought of this, his head felt heavy. He didn't even bother to be polite, he just turned around and left. However, he underestimated Xiao Xuanyan's methods. Oh, I almost forgot. It seems that the monster has broken through the cave void realm some time ago, and it is very likely that there will be an atavism. Remember to tell your sister to be careful. Xiao Junlin just sat on the ground with his legs weak. How could he ask his sister to complete the task? It was clearly this old bastard who was torturing himself in disguise. Xiao Xian, you old bastard, immortal old man, old cunt, shameless, I curse you for being incompetent. Monsters in the cave realm, atavism, why don't you just ask my sister to stretch her neck over and let her chew her? Other than those heaven-defying monsters and geniuses, who else can defeat a monster that has atavism and is still in the cave void realm? Even you, Grandpa Tianzun, and I have to be fully prepared, but we may not be able to win the battle. Xiao Junlin kept cursing in his heart and ran outside angrily. With his stupid sister's character, he must have received the news by now. And he wasn't even prepared. What the hell was this? Xiao Xian. You wait. When your Grandpa Tianzun and I, Go Shendao, are completed, see if I don't give you a good beating. Even though he was speaking from his heart, Xiao Xian felt that his eardrums were a bit painful. At the same time, the 5 people fighting in the air launched an attack on Xiao Xian at the same time. And make a sneak attack from behind him. Xiao Xian shook his head helplessly. I didn't learn anything else, but I learned the sneak attack skill very flexibly. Then his figure instantly retreated, and his whole body reached the sky. Xiao Jiangxin and others saw this and launched another attack on him. At this moment, Xiao Tianyun exclaimed, "It's a scam." Xiao Xian suddenly appeared behind them. The white-clothed figure who fought with them just now turned into nothingness at this moment. Xiao Yanyao's eyes flashed, reincarnation time and space connection method. Xiao Xian actually used his trump card killer move. And he uses it even better than him. Not waiting for a few people to react. A sword energy suddenly fell from the sky, carrying an aura of void. Blood dances in the void. Xiao Jiangxin was shocked. Xiao Xian actually understood his blood mist void. That's his ultimate trump card. The head of the house is really awesome. Then there was another thunder in the sky, and the roar of thunder made several people's expressions change drastically. Jamal Xiao hurriedly asked several people to retreat quickly. It's killing thunder. Don't let it touch. Arrived. Before they finished speaking, several people turned into coke-like existences. After finally alleviating the power of thunder and lightning on his body, there was another feeling of heat in the sky. I saw a huge flame bird flapping its wings and flying towards them. Xiao Yan shouted, "It's the golden crow. Don't be burned by it, this fire is not easy to extinguish." While the words were still in their mouths, several people were burned by the fire like beggars. There is no trace of that high-spirited genius at all. The huge flame impact and thunder and lightning attack caused them to spit out a breath of black air. At the same time, the electric current was buffering the body, and several people could not help but tremble. Just stabilize your body. I saw Xiao Xian in front of me suddenly turned into countless people, and they were all entities. Several people were completely confused. Xiao Xian not only knows how to use their ultimate trump card, but also uses it 100 times more powerfully than them. And this was after Xiao Xian suppressed the strength of the cultivation realm. They couldn't even imagine the true power of these killer moves after Xiao Xian unleashed all his strength. Xiao Tianyun smiled helplessly, "Uncle Xian, we admit defeat, please accept this other method of transforming yourself into a great being." The Great Self-Transformation Technique is a unique technique created by Emperor Huangtian, and its secrets are simply incomprehensible to them now. After hearing this, Xiao Xian naturally stopped. Looking at the people who had exhausted their spiritual power, he looked at them with a half-smile. When several people saw Xiao Xian's true form, they hurriedly stepped forward to salute. At the same time, he also gained a new understanding of Xiao Xian's strength. They thought those books were only visible to them. Now it seems that the head of the family has not only read it, but also understood its essence. This has to make them admire. Xiao Xian is quite satisfied with the current improvement in strength of several people. They performed well and did not neglect their cultivation due to external influences. This is worthy of praise. However, you cannot be complacent because of this. Instead, you must practice more diligently. This is also for your own good. Now that Tianluo territory has been peaceful for half a year, my family leader has a premonition that the next war will come soon. Before this, you all must work hard to improve your cultivation level, so that you can have absolute strength to meet the next challenge. Then Xiao Xian left under the watch of several people. Now it is time for him to break through his own realm of cultivation. Then he checked his own situation. Name, Xiao Xian. Identity, head of the Xiao family. Cultivation realm, 9th level of Dongxi realm. Magic weapon, king level waning moon sword. Martial skills, Tianyu Xianfeng sword technique. After completing the practice, you can reach the top of the immortal way, the powerful Wolong. After completing the practice, you can cut the void with the sword, 8-stage slash, the 3rd level. Exotic treasures, jade pendant and ring of the head of the family. Family buildings, Sutra Pavilion, Enlightenment Room, Jingxi Hall, Family Residence, 10,000 Swords Grotto, 1000 Buddha Hall, Enlightenment Heavenly Monument, Wanzang Medicine Peak, and Family Ancestral Tombs. Supernatural powers, Bei's Hang, Sword Domain, Poji, Power Breaking 10,000s, Aurora, Invincibility, Extreme Speed, Critical Hit. Dharma Sign of Birth, Tathagata Dharma Sign, 3,650 times increase. After reading this, Xiao Xian was also ready to make a breakthrough. 10 days later, Xiao Junlin's sister handed over this task. A few days later, Xiao Junlin returned to Xiao Xian's yard with a pale face and shaky steps. Knowing that the other party was making a breakthrough, he stopped disturbing him. To avoid being laughed at by him later, Xiao Junlin suddenly began to wonder if Xiao Xian knew something. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 77. In Xiao Xian's room, one after another terrifying aura came out. Everyone in the Xiao family was shocked by the scene and stopped to watch. Xiao Xian's face in the room was very calm. Behind him was a huge image of the Tathagata. A spiritual energy between heaven and earth merges here with the invisible supreme power. Countless gray-white mist was formed, exuding wisps of mysterious law power. Immediately, a huge void Dharma realm appeared behind him. In the Dharma realm, Dharma Xiang slowly opened his eyes and took a step towards the void. Immediately afterwards, the earth shook and the mountains shook, the sky and the earth rotated, and even the void gradually loomed. After a rumbling sound, the void legal world behind him turned into a small world. In the small world, there is a Tathagata who is somewhat similar to Pangu. Xiao Xian smiled with satisfaction, an endless aura bloomed in the void. Immediately after blending into the small world, there was another weak, extremely slow-flowing aura. It is being fed back to the outside world at a slow but spreading speed. Everyone in the Xiao family felt shocked. It was a feeling of enlightenment. Some children of the Xiao family who had reached the bottleneck in their cultivation even made breakthroughs on the spot. This breath actually carries the power of law. Xiao Xian in the room is still making breakthroughs. In the small world, the Tathagata's Dharma has exceeded 99,999 times. Then it slowly stopped. Xiao Xian opened his eyes, and a sharp light burst out. The Chaos Cave world contains the terrifying power of laws. At this moment, he has broken through the tribulation realm. Not only has the combat power soared again, but even the appearance of Tathagata has undergone tremendous changes. Today's him. Just a gentle wave of his hand can cause the space to vibrate. With such terrifying strength, even the Tao-killing king would change his expression when seeing it. With his current strength, he could face someone as powerful as the Dao Slayer King. Even if it cannot be defeated, it still has the ability to fight with it. And those who want to break through the Dao-killing king. In addition to comprehending the mysteries, one also needs to experience life and death. Only in this way can one attain enlightenment. Even so, he can only be regarded as half a king and wants to become a real king. One way is indispensable. Once you become a king, you will not only improve your combat power. Even the Dharma image and cave heaven behind him will be greatly sublimated. Together with the magical powers and mysteries of understanding. The king, in this world, is just a starting point towards the worlds of gods and gods. Above the king, there are masters, gods of war, and higher classes. Thinking of this, Xiao Xian no longer continues to retreat. These are things he will definitely get, but they are not what he needs to think about at this moment. During Xiao Xian's retreat, all major forces also left Tianluo territory. This time they came ostensibly to give gifts, but in fact they came to apologize. Xiao Wuxi, as the Xiao family's martial god, dealt with those who were hostile to the Xiao family. It will definitely not be let go easily. Now they come to give gifts, even if Xiao Xian does not see them. But all the gifts they sent were collected, which also proved that Xiao Wuxi would not hold them responsible again. With Xiao Wuxi's character, even if they are the leaders of one party, there will be no further investigation, not to mention that the Xiao family also accepted their apology. This also made them all breathe a sigh of relief and just wait for the passage of time. Xiao Wuxi would completely forget about them, and this matter would naturally end. After harvesting these resources, the Xiao family's overall strength has naturally increased significantly. All the geniuses of the Xiao family also received Xiao Xian's reminder. I chose to practice in seclusion, just waiting to face the next crisis. Ding, congratulations to the host for breaking through the tribulation realm and improving the family luck. The family is automatically upgraded to a 5th grade. Family rewards are now distributed. Xiao Xian sighed when he heard the system's mechanical beep. Xiao Wuxi, as the martial god of the Xiao family, has not been included in the family tree. Therefore, he was automatically excluded by the system, otherwise he would have received more than just this promotion reward. Ding, the family is automatically upgraded to a 5th grade family, and the host's cultivation level is upgraded to the 3rd level of the tribulation realm. The Sutra Pavilion, Enlightenment Room, Jingxi Hall, 10,000 Sword Cave, and the Mountain Guard Sword Formation Family Station will automatically upgrade to the 5th level. Get a high-grade spiritual vein, various king-level seeds, rare mineral veins, and automatically give birth to a legendary child. Tibetan Scripture Pavilion, Level 5. Increase the weight of martial arts and enhance the effects of martial arts. The hidden talent of the clan members increased by 20%, and the chance of comprehending the artistic conception increased by 20%. Automatically refresh the king-level mid-level skills every day. Enlightenment Room, 5th grade. 5 floors, 1 layer of aura increases by 30%. The second level of spiritual energy is increased by 40%, and the third level of spiritual energy is increased by 50%. The fourth level of spiritual energy is increased by 60%, the fifth level of spiritual energy is increased by 65%, and the tribe's enlightenment rate is increased by 50%. Family Head Jade Pendant, Level 5. The mid-level qualifications for the birth of a new baby in the family are increased by 20%. The birth of a newborn's top grade qualifications increases by 20%, increasing the family's spiritual energy growth rate. It can be integrated with spiritual veins and family residences, and can help the host improve the 7 small realms. Family Station, 5th grade automatically expands spiritual veins, give birth to mid-grade spiritual veins, and increase spiritual energy by 50%. 10,000 Swords Cave, 5th grade contains 10,000 swords in the world, the landing of divine weapons is increased by 20%, and you can obtain heaven-level low-grade divine weapons. Mountain Protecting Sword Formation, Level 5. The Dao King will die if he touches the following. Heavenly Monument of Enlightenment, Level 5. The chance of enlightenment for clan members is increased by 20%, and the chance of understanding the artistic conception is increased according to the opponent's talent. Can be superimposed with the Enlightenment Room to add attributes, only for family members. Almost at the same time as the reward was received, huge changes occurred in the sky above the Xiao family. Although Xiao Junlin noticed this different aura, he also knew that it came from Xiao Xian's hand. Therefore, he didn't pay much attention to him and continued to tinker with his flowers and plants. 2 years have passed since Xiao Wuxi appeared in the Xiao family. In the past 2 years, the overall strength of the Xiao family has been greatly improved. Those who are strong in the low realm have also risen a lot in the past 2 years. Even the strength of the 9 elders has been improved. Although their cultivation realm is still at the early stage of the Great Dao realm, their combat effectiveness should not be underestimated. Several geniuses of the Xiao family have also improved a lot in the past 2 years. Among them, Xiao Qingyun's cultivation level has reached the peak of Dongxi realm, and he will soon be able to break through the tribulation realm. Although Xiao Tianyun is only at the 7th level of Dongxi realm, his combat effectiveness is not inferior to Xiao Qingyun, and in some ways, even more powerful than her. The other geniuses, including Xiao Jiangxin, have also broken through the 5th level of Dongxi realm. As time goes by, everyone noticed the changes in Tianluo territory. Not only Tianluo territory, but also southern Xinjiang was faintly aware of this aura. Xiao Xian looked up at the sky and sighed slightly. The aura above the sky is extremely domineering, if something is allowed to come out. I'm afraid that the entire Suanmen will have to reshuffle and plan. Xiao Junlin, who had the blessing of the false sky eye, naturally felt this strangeness. It's strange, this aura can't even be detected with my vain heavenly eye. Logically speaking, as long as you are not a lucky person, you will have no way to hide from my false eyes. Why can't I see even the slightest trace this time, unless this thing involves the gods and worlds? That's not right, even the gods and worlds can know a thing or two in front of the false eyes. Xiao Junlin was suddenly shocked. Could it be that the things here involve not only the gods and the realms, but also the void Dharma realm? Otherwise, it is impossible for my false heavenly eyes not to detect it. Xiao Xian was also a little surprised when he heard Xiao Junlin's thoughts. Matters involving the gods and the void low realm are definitely not something they can fight against with their current strength. Therefore, Xiao Xian decided to open the secret realm and send these little kids to experience. Before this big event comes, be fully prepared. Then he passed a note to Xiao Jianfeng. Xiao Jianfeng, who received the news from Xiao Xian, suddenly felt a little confused. It's still some time before the family competition. Why is the head of the family in such a hurry to let the family children who are practicing abroad come back early? And he also gave such generous rewards, even from the head of the family himself. Although Xiao Jianfeng was confused, when he thought of Xiao Xian's behavior over the years. He quickly summoned the disciples who were outside and started preparing for the competition. The Xiao family's competition attracted countless people from Tianluo territory to visit. Prodigies from all major forces also came to watch. Although the Xiao family has long had legendary geniuses such as Xiao Jiangxin, who has become famous, the other geniuses are not weaker than anyone else. This time I got the news that the Xiao family was going to hold a big competition, so I paid attention to those people in the Xiao family. They all rushed to the scene as soon as possible. In this competition, the Xiao family was divided into two groups. The first batch is the Golden Body Realm and the Lo Realm. Thousands of people were compared and only the top 50 were selected. This made those watching the genius blush. After all, they all regard the geniuses of the two realms of the Xiao family as their rivals. However, opponents like this are so mediocre in the Xiao family, and some of them don't even get good rankings. This made them blush, and at the same time they had to sigh with emotion at the current strength of the Xiao family. The other group is the Dragon and Tiger ranking with Xiao Jiangxin and others as the chief referees. The onlookers were even more horrified when they saw this scene. Those geniuses in front are already outstanding people outside. So how terrifying should Xiao Jiangxin and others, who are the legendary geniuses of the Xiao family, be with such strength? Just thinking about it makes them feel numb. At this time, Xiao Xian was in the room checking the secret realms that could be redeemed in the system. A dense collection of legendary myths was displayed in front of him. Quafuzuri, redeem 70,000 points. Pangukaishan, 70,000 redemption points. Nuwa creates humans, 30,000 exchange points. Jingui reclamation, exchange points 30,000. Silk God presents silk, exchange points. It's just that these myths and stories don't have much effect on improving combat effectiveness. Therefore, Xiao Xian just glanced at it casually, and then went to check others. However, those can help the children of the family improve their combat effectiveness. But none of them he could afford to redeem. Yellow Emperor fights Jiyu, exchange points of 300,000. Xingtian Wuoganga, exchange points of 300,000. Gong Gong angered Buzhu Mountain, exchange points for 500,000 yuan. Ho Yi shoots the sun, 700,000 exchange points. Panga creation, 700,000 redemption points. Chaos opens 7 apertures, exchange points. Any one of these can greatly improve the strength and combat effectiveness of the Xiao family's genius. But he doesn't have that many redemption points. Therefore, within the scope of exchange, Xiao Xian chose the secret realm of Quafuzuri. Immediately afterwards, the general outline of the secret realm appeared in his mind. After several days of sketching, this secret realm is finally completed. At the same time, the Xiao family's competition has also reached its final stage. Xiao Qingge, as a contestant for the Dragon and Tiger ranking, unexpectedly won the first place. Xiao Xian could think of it even with his toes, and Xiao Junlin played an important role in this. Otherwise, with his sister's strength and qualifications, how could he win the first place on the Dragon and Tiger ranking? However, it can also be seen that Xiao Qingge has an extremely important weight in the heart of this reincarnated heavenly lord. Xiao Qingge won the championship this time and received generous rewards. In addition to king-level Taoism and martial arts, there are also king-level herbs, high-grade elixirs, and the like. Even low-grade magic weapons and self-defense soft armor are included. It attracted the envy and jealousy of countless people. They wished they were the one standing on the podium at this moment. If this is given to them, there will be a huge breakthrough in their cultivation realm and strength. With the end of the Xiao family competition, all the cultivators in Tianluo domain have entered a stage of cultivation. After all, the changes in the sky have attracted everyone's attention. And everyone in the Tianluo territory naturally has to be prepared before the accident comes. Work hard to improve your strength and combat effectiveness. If it's a chance, maybe he can get good luck. If something happened like that in ancient times, it would be good to be able to save one's life. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 78. An outstanding genius of the Xiao family rushed back after receiving the news of Xiao Jianfeng's summons. There were more than 100 people, and even Xiao Qingyun, who was far away in Nanming, returned to the Xiao family. After the Xiao family competition was over, Xiao Xian led Xiao Jiangxin and others to the secret realm he created. We were obviously taking the road into the back mountain. But Xiao Jiangxin and others clearly felt something was wrong. It was as if they had entered another small world. Everything inside was like nothing they had ever seen before. Here it is. Looking at a completely different world, some people couldn't help but exclaimed. The mountains rise from the ground as high as the sky. Clouds and mist linger among the rocky cliffs, and pines and cypresses stand tall, creating a majestic and magnificent scenery. There are also tribes that cover an area larger than Nanming. Where is this place? Who are these people? Are they the legendary giants? But the records in ancient books are not that big. Everyone here is as tall as a giant peak. Even the children are as tall as 7 or 8-story buildings. And this is just the shorter of these giants. Oh my God, I have never seen such a tall giant. Is this the giant race? The giants recorded in ancient books are only a few dozen feet tall. Although they are powerful in combat, they move extremely slowly. The giants here are not only as tall as mountains, but also very agile in their movements. Could it be that they are giants from ancient times? Even Xiao Qingyun, the reincarnated empress, and Xiao Junlin, the reincarnated sweetheart. I have never seen such a giant. Even according to the records of the era, those giants with pure bloodline. He was only as tall as their calves, and his movements were incomparable to them. Seeing the look of nostalgia on Xiao Xian's face, the two of them looked at him in unison. Perhaps, this giant tribe is related to Xiao Xian. Xiao Xian sketched out the secret realm and stepped into this small world for the first time. Looking at these mythical people and things, I felt a sense of sadness. He was afraid he would never return to that world. This is which. Among everyone's discussions, Xiao Xian's calm voice stood out. Which? Everyone looked at Xiao Xian with doubts on their faces, waiting for his explanation. Even Xiao Qingyun and Xiao Junlin have never heard of the legend of which. Even if it is recorded in ancient books before the era, it has never appeared. Reminiscent of the change in Xiao Xian's expression just now, the two of them suddenly became aware of it. This giant tribe, known as witch, may really be related to Xiao Xian. Ling, a witch, uses jade to serve God. A witch is born with a physical body that is extremely powerful. He can devour the heaven and earth. He can control wind, water, thunder, and lightning. He can move mountains and seas and change the world. As strong as a real dragon, the red flame golden beast, and the 9-headed worm are all their food. Even a newborn baby can pick up stars and break magical weapons with his hands. Hearing Xiao Xian's introduction, everyone was shocked. The fighting power of which is so powerful. Even the ancient true dragons are their food. You must know that the dragon clan is still a pseudo-dragon with a trace of real dragon blood. He has been able to dominate the Tianluo domain. And the witch clan actually feeds on the flesh and blood of ancient dragons. Everyone couldn't help but gasp, they were extremely shocked. Immediately afterwards, there were sounds of fighting on a mountain peak not far from them. It was actually a giant from the witch clan fighting an ancient true dragon. Ancient dragon. Even in the gods and worlds, it is an existence that stomps its feet and makes the world tremble. And among countless records, there are only a handful of people who have the blood of a true dragon, and there are even fewer who can be promoted to a true dragon. In addition to its combat power, the ancient true dragon is a ceiling-level existence. His physical abilities are even more powerful, with just a flick of the dragon's tail. It can destroy heaven and earth. And this giant from the witch tribe actually fought against the ancient dragon with his bare hands. Not only that, the ancient true dragon is still at a disadvantage. Even escaping takes a long time to prepare. When Xiao Qingyun and Xiao Junlin saw this real dragon, they started to explore its cultivation. However, the result obtained was blank. They were actually unable to sense the cultivation level of this real dragon. This had to shock them. As the reincarnated Empress and Heavenly Lord, they have already experienced countless lives and deaths. He is naturally very good at sensing the other party's cultivation level. But this real dragon has become an exception. The two of them were moved. He became more and more convinced that Xiao Xian was from before the era of the era, or even from that period further back. For the reincarnated strong men, only the cultivation realm of the strong men at that time cannot be perceived by them. The war continues. Both witches and true dragons fight hand to hand with bare hands. In addition to the power of God, mysteries, artistic conception, and even the power of laws. All of these are integrated into their realm. Every casual blow carries the aura of destroying the world. Xiao Jiangxin and others stared at the battle in front of them, for fear of missing anything. Even Xiao Qingyun and Xiao Junlin also paid attention to this experience. Just standing here and watching, they can feel the changes in themselves. From the battle between the shaman and the real dragon, he realized something that they had not understood in their previous lives. Facing such a powerful real dragon, he is a being like the Supreme Lord. It's impossible to defeat him, but this witch can handle it with ease. The real dragon's claws scratched across his body without leaving any trace. Even the tail of a dragon that could destroy heaven and earth swung at him. There was just a white mark, and the witch couldn't move. The white marks turned into white ashes and disappeared. Immediately afterwards, the witch seized the opportunity and grabbed the real dragon's horns. He sat astride it and grasped the real dragon's feet with both hands. With a loud shout, the real dragon's wail was heard. The surrounding monsters were even more frightened and fled in all directions. The real dragon was still struggling desperately under the witch. However, the witch struck him 7 inches in the face with his knife, and he could no longer move. Immediately afterwards, he tore open its abdomen with his bare hands and took out the dragon tendons inside. Wrapping it around his waist, the real dragon's body was also carried on his shoulders. Good guy, if you weren't in such a hurry to escape, I would have really used all my strength. Hear this. The geniuses of the Xiao family were once again horrified. Facing such a powerful real dragon, he has not yet used all his strength. You must know this level of true dragon. Even in the realms of gods and even the realm of the void, few can defeat it. At this time, dozens of Wu clan members also came out from the other side of the forest. Each of them carries a huge monster on their back. This is actually a thunder bat dragon. Its wings are broken. But there is no damage on the outside. Kuei Niu. That's an ancient ferocious beast. Even the god of war needs to use all his strength to kill it. This witch actually tore off its head with his bare hands. 9-headed lions. According to ancient books, this existence is capable of destroying heaven and earth, and now it is dead like this. The fighting power of this witch clan is really too powerful. But, why can't we see a single Wu clan person now? Faced with everyone's questions, Xiao Xian patiently answered them. He pointed to the sky. Then another picture appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Although witches are strong, they also have opponents. For example, the demon clan. Then Xiao Xian pointed to the sun at the top of the sky. In the deepest part of the sun, there are countless figures walking around. A demon is an object that relies on the essence and energy. The energy is chaotic in the middle, and things change in the outside. The form, spirit, and temperament are used both externally and internally. Based on the 5 elements and connected with the 5 things, although the news rises and falls. It can be said that it can be said to be a domain in all its transformations and movements. Everyone was shocked again. The demon is so powerful that he is not even afraid of the true fire of the sun. You can even live in it. When Xiao Yan saw this scene, he suddenly felt strange fire in himself. Compared to the true fire of the sun, it pales into insignificance. Not worth mentioning at all. Everyone also wanted to ask about the demon. This is something that is not even recorded in ancient books. We'll talk about the demon clan later. Today, the head of the Japanese family is mainly going to tell you about the witch clan. Xiao Xian's words directly interrupted their thoughts. The demon emperor, Emperor Jun, has 10 sons, pure blood, and 3-legged golden crow. Because he could not control the true sun fire in his body, he was sent to the Penglai Fusang tree by Emperor Jun. Every day it takes turns rising from the east side of the hibiscus tree, turning into a sunbird and shining in all directions. One day in the sky is 1 year on earth. On this day, the smallest golden crow became very playful. Sneak out from Penglai mountain and walk on this land. 2 days appeared in the sky at the same time, and the golden crow was unable to control the real sun fire in his body. Suddenly, all life was in ruins and the people were in dire straits. At this time, everyone discovered that there were 2 suns in the sky. When they took a closer look, they discovered that the other one was transformed into a 3-legged golden crow. Because it cannot control the true sun fire in its body, everything it passes by is instantly burned by fire. The rivers have become dry, and even the Wu tribe cannot withstand such heat. Just for a moment. Xiao Qingyun and others found that they couldn't stand the sunlight. At this time, the golden crow came directly to the Wu tribe and hovered over them. The people of the Wu clan were unable to withstand the true fire of the sun from the golden crow, and many clan members were sunk to death. However, the golden crow was still unsatisfied. Out of curiosity about the witch clan, it moved closer to the tribe. At this time, even the protected baby showed signs of dehydration and death. At this time, a roar suddenly came over. Then he saw a crutch about several hundred feet long flying towards the golden crow. The golden crow screamed again and again, and quickly spit out the true fire of the sun. Burn that crutch to ashes. Are you the witch clan? I have long heard that the people of the witch clan are barbaric and unreasonable. Now that I have seen it, what I said is true. The golden crow transformed into a huge fireball and approached the witch. Let my prince's golden crow true fire teach you a lesson today. Feeling the golden crow approaching, he roared angrily. His body suddenly grew hundreds of times, and then he punched out. The golden crow was instantly hit and flew far away. Everyone in the Wu clan suddenly felt that the hot feeling dissipated a lot. When the golden crow saw this scene, he was immediately frightened. But as the son of the demon emperor Emperor Jun, who wouldn't say prince when they see him? How dare you hit me? Did you know that I am the son of Emperor Jun? Could it be that you still want to rebel against me? When everyone in the Wu clan heard this, they were immediately furious. The huge witch snorted coldly, I, the Quafa clan, are never afraid of anyone. As the emperor's son, you disobey the emperor's orders and play around in private, causing all life to be ruined and no grass to grow. Even if Emperor Jun is here, my Quafa clan will still not be afraid. When Xiao Jinwu heard that the other party called himself the Quafa clan, he suddenly felt afraid. The Quafa clan is the grandson of Hutu, the god of the netherworld. Even if his father, Emperor Jun, arrives, he must be courteous. Now he has sunk most of the Quafa clan to death, not to mention what Hutu will do to them. Even the Quafu in front of me will not let him go. Therefore, he turned around and ran away without hesitation. At the same time, He also sent a distress message to other Juri who were far away in Penglai Mountain. When everyone heard this, they couldn't help but be filled with doubts. Master, what kind of existence is Quafu of the Wu clan? He's not even afraid of the demon emperor. Wu is also divided into Wu Xian, Wu Xian, Wu Ji, Wu Pan, Wu Peng, Wu Gu, Wu Zhen, Wu Li, Wu Di, Wu Xia, and Wu Luo. The Quafu clan is the grandson of Hutu, the god of the netherworld, and is also Wahan. Regardless of combat prowess or reputation, they are only the best among the demon clan. Everyone gasped when they heard this. As a Quafu of Wuzhen, he is not even considered invincible in the monster clan. They didn't dare to imagine how terrifying beings at the level of Wu Li above Wu Zhen were. Shocked and shocked, everyone also understood a lot of things that should be understood. Xiao Xian was very satisfied with this. Just the previous ones have already made them realize a lot of things. Especially Xiao Jiangxin and others, in addition to comprehending the power of the secrets and laws inside. I also realized something deeper, this experience. It will bring them a great breakthrough. The geniuses of the Xiao family behind him also chased after him not to be outdone. Those with slightly lower qualifications have also broken through to the first level. Seeing this, Xiao Xian was already looking forward to the system reward this time. I think it must be very rich. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 79. Seeing Xiao Jinwu trying to escape, Quafu immediately chased after him. Today you exposed many of my clansmen to death, and you just want to escape unharmed. There's no way. Quafu shouted angrily and immediately grabbed the tail of the golden crow who was trying to escape. Little golden crow was horrified and quickly released the true sun fire in his body. This true sun fire, even as powerful as Quafu, cannot resist it. Seeing this, Xiao Jinwu took the opportunity to run away. Everyone in the Quafu clan couldn't bear to see Quafu suffer such harm, so they stopped in front of him. Quafu, you have taught it a lesson today, and it will never cause trouble again. Yes, we can't resist the true fire of the golden crow's Sunday. Looking at the past being sunburned to death, and the dying tribesmen in front of them. Quafu looked firm. Today he dares to come here and run rampant on the basis of his identity as the son of Emperor Jun, and he will definitely go somewhere else in the future. If we can't train it, it will only be a disaster for the world. Regardless of the opposition of his tribe, Quafu resolutely embarked on the journey. The long flight was already too much for little golden crow. If he couldn't get rid of Quafu's pursuit before exhaustion, he would really die in Quafu's hands. Even if his father wanted to ask for an explanation at that time, he would have to worry about Ho-Tu's face. Quafu, who chased little golden crow all the way, didn't fare much better. The sun is really hot, coupled with the hardship of traveling all the way. The rivers and lakes he encountered along the way made him hungry and thirsty. He drank almost all the water, but this could not completely quench his thirst. Little golden crow naturally discovered something was wrong with Quafu, and immediately released all the true sun fire in his body. Other Juri in Penglai Mountain on the other side also discovered that the little golden crow was missing. While anxious, he received a distress signal from little golden crow. He immediately came to the rescue from Penglai Mountain, and happened to see Quafu chasing the little golden crow all the way. The 9 brothers were immediately furious, releasing the true sun fire in their bodies and heading towards Quafu. Originally, Quafu planned to drink water to quench his thirst in the East China Sea, but then he captured little golden crow to avenge his tribe. However, before he reached the East China Sea, he saw 10 suns appearing in the sky at the same time. Upon seeing this, Quafu accelerated his pace towards the East China Sea. However, How could the 10 golden crows give him this opportunity to turn into fireballs and release all the true sun fire in their bodies? Sunk Quafu alive in this land. Seeing that Quafu was dead, the 10 golden crows also left with a smile. Before everyone could recover from Quafu's death, they appeared in a peach blossom forest. The peach trees towering into the sky next to her were unable to be hugged even by 10 people. At this time, Xiao Xian's voice came over. The peach forest you see now is the body of Quafu. Although he was scorched to death by 10 golden crows, his perseverance has not dissipated, and his body has been transformed into countless inheritances and passed down to the world. If you can find an opportunity and get its inheritance, it will be an infinite blessing. Xiao Xian's words instantly caused ripples in everyone's hearts. Quafu's power is immeasurable to them. Now they not only came to the peach forest where Quafu's body was transformed, but they could also get his inheritance. How can this not make people feel warm-hearted? Although Quafu died, his spirit will always live in their hearts. If they could get his inheritance, their trip would be worthwhile. Xiao Xian looked at the peach forest in front of him, feeling a little helpless. It took 70,000 redemption points to redeem the secret realm. 4/7 of the exchange points were used in this peach forest. You know, the redemption points he usually gets from completing tasks are only 20,000 at most. That's still a large main quest. Even elixirs like golden elixir. It only requires a few dozen points, and you can get it with just 100 exchange points. But this Dylan cost 40,000 exchange points. Xiao Xian really didn't know what was in it. Even if he knew it, he couldn't understand it. On this point, Xiao Xian was very depressed. Looking at the peach forest in front of him, it reminded him of the scene of Quafu Zuri. The mythical story that has been with him since he was very young. For a moment, I actually had the illusion of returning to my previous life. Xiao Xian's expression was all captured by Xiao Qingyun. He became more and more convinced that Xiao Xian was a strong man from before the era. What's more, he has an inseparable relationship with this Quafu clan. I just don't know what role Xiao Xian played in the Quafu clan at that time. He doesn't even look down on a person like Quafu. How powerful was he back then? What's more, he was able to preserve even the scenes from that time, and even the inheritance inside can be understood by others. Xiao Xian, how many mysterious places do you still have that have not been revealed? What kind of existence were you during that period? How did that period end? The more contact he had, the more curious Xiao Qingyun became about Xiao Xian. What's more, she felt like asking Xiao Xian personally who he was. He glanced at Xiao Xian meaningfully, and then entered the Dalan to look for the inheritance. More than 100 Xiao family children entered the peach forest together and began to look for opportunities. Xiao Xian stood at the highest point of the peach forest and looked around every corner of the peach forest. Dalan is transformed from Quafu's body, and it naturally contains the pressure of Quafu's witchcraft. Even Xiao Jiangxin and others who had the cultivation level of Dongxi realm were under the pressure of Wu Zhen. They can only find opportunities by walking. Here, they cannot fly. Even spells cannot be used. The geniuses of the Xiao family have gradually found opportunities that suit them. But seeing that other geniuses were better than themselves, they thought about continuing to search. However, under the pressure of Wu Zhen, even without using spiritual energy, their own physical strength is also almost exhausted. If they want to get better, they must continue to go to higher places. But now their ability can no longer withstand the pressure from above. So I moved to other places and continued to look for other opportunities. It is not easy to find opportunities here. On the other side, Xiao Yan searched along the peach forest. He remembered that after little Jinwu was punched by Quafu, a lot of feathers fell off. Some even stick to Quafu's body, now that Quafu has turned into a peach forest. Then this feather will definitely be in the peach forest, and this feather comes from the golden crow. Naturally, there will also be a trace of the true fire power of the sun. If you can find it, it will be of great help to your own strange fire improvement. Sure enough, under a peach tree, Xiao Yan found a golden feather of a small golden crow. It's just a small feather, but the aura of true sun fire contained on it is a bit hot to the touch. What if you find more? Thinking of this, Xiao Yan began to search carefully in this area. In just half a day, he found a dozen golden feathers. After dozens of days, Xiao Yan finally found what he wanted. Here. The 9 nether golden ancestral fire is the essence and blood dropped from the little golden crow. After hundreds of millions of years of evolution, it transformed into what it is now. Although it is not as good as the true sun fire, this level of 9 nether golden ancestral fire is the most suitable for me. With the blessing of this 9 nether golden ancestral fire, my strange fire may also undergo huge changes. Xiao Yan did not stop after finding this 9 nether golden ancestral fire, but continued to search around here. Maybe there will be other opportunities. At the same time, Xiao Tianyuan was also looking in another direction of Dalian. If Xiao Xian hadn't personally led them into the Dalian, he would have doubted whether he had entered some ancient secret realm. After many days and nights of searching, Xiao Tianyuan came to a peach tree that looked like a human but not human. Could this be Quafu's body? Xiao Tianyuan reached out and groped on the peach tree, then closed his eyes. 3 days later, Xiao Tianyuan slowly opened his eyes, showing a hint of joy. I didn't expect that I would obtain Quafu's secret body forging technique. When you reach the highest level of cultivation, you can also gain a trace of Quafu's power. With Quafu's strength, he tore apart the ancient dragon with his hands and punched Emperor Jun's son. Xiao Tianyuan didn't even dare to think about such a blessing. But now he got it? It's a pity that this is not the inheritance of the Wu clan's original lineage. If only it could be the inheritance of the Wu clan's original lineage. Perhaps the immortal bones in my body will become more terrifying, but it is already very rare to get such an opportunity. I can't be so greedy. Compared with other people in the Xiao family, my fortune is already the best. Xiao Tianyuan, who had understood Quafu's secret technique of forging a body, was now able to ignore the pressure of Wu Zhen in Dalian. You can even fly and look at the peach trees towering into the sky. Xiao Tianyuan's heart moved, and he immediately flew up. However, when flying to a certain level, Xiao Tianyuan felt a pressure from heaven. In an instant he understood what was going on and stopped trying. After all, that pressure is beyond his reach now. Xiao Qingyuan walked along a peach blossom path in the peach forest. Stopped at a steaming hot spring. With the sensitivity of the reincarnated empress, Xiao Qingyuan quickly discovered the difference in this hot spring. I didn't expect that even Jinwu couldn't bear Quafu's punch. I guess this is the place where the golden crow fell. This hot spring was transformed from his essence and blood. Although the essence and blood of the golden crow was not worth mentioning at that time, for me at this moment, it is an excellent essence for tempering my body. If we can absorb all the essence and blood in it, and with the help of the Supreme Divine Court, we will be able to break through the tribulation realm just around the corner. Even the combat power will increase infinitely, and Xiao Tianyuan will not be my opponent by then. Thinking of this, Xiao Qingyuan took off his clothes and entered the hot spring to start practicing. Xiao Jiangxin searched around the peach forest and found only one peach branch. But with Kenshin's keen insight, he noticed the difference in the peach branches. There is a faint smell of witches coming from above. Seeing that the rest of the Xiao family were still searching, Xiao Jiangxin took the peach branch in his hand and began to study it. Bring the peach branch into the sea of consciousness, and use your sword intention to feel the breath inside the peach branch. Sure enough, this is a peach branch with the power of witchcraft. After understanding the magical power of the shaman inside, my swordsmanship will reach a higher level. Immediately afterwards, Jamal Xiao, Xiao Yanyao, and Xiao Junlin also received suitable opportunities at the same time. Xiao Xian looked around at Dalian's situation. I can't help but sigh at the good fortune of these talented people. The greatest blessings in the peach forest almost all belong to them. Among them, Xiao Tianyun's blessings may not be comparable to the rest of the Xiao family combined. Although other geniuses of the Xiao family have also received many opportunities, compared to Xiao Tianyun and others. Still not enough to watch. This trip to the secret realm is coming to an end. The secret realm redeemed by 70,000 redemption points is only a one-time use. Although the opportunities and good fortune here are great, the development of the Xiao family and everyone in the Xiao family is also huge. Whether it is spiritual energy, fruits, or soil, it is incomparable to all gods and worlds. If everyone in the Xiao family can continue to practice here, they will be a completely reborn existence. Even if he wanted to preserve this secret realm, there was no way. There were so many exchange points needed that he simply couldn't get them. After this experience in the secret realm, I don't know when the next time will be. This was also the main reason why he was anxious to bring in the geniuses of the Xiao family. These 70,000 redemption points were all obtained by him after doing missions for several years. The last day the secret area is closed. Xiao Xian told everyone the time when the secret realm would be closed. After hearing the news, everyone felt a little regretful. But I also know that it is already very rare to get such an opportunity. Therefore, I cherish this last day very much. Strive to get more opportunities and good luck. When the time came, everyone in the Xiao family came out of the secret realm under the leadership of Xiao Xian. With a burst of smoke, the secret realm disappeared before everyone's eyes. Then the light sank into Xiao Xian's body. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 80. Ding, congratulations on completing the host's secret realm exploration mission, the rewards are now released. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Wu Xian's physique and raising his cultivation level to the 9th level of the Tribulation Realm. Obtain Tianji peach branches and peach fruits, comprehend the power of witchcraft, and the 9 nether golden ancestral fire. A drop of diluted Quafu essence and blood, a drop of diluted golden crow essence and blood, and a golden crow feather. Physique of Wu Xian, the lowest grade physique of the Wu clan, divided into 4 levels. Although it is the lowest grade physique, the power it contains should not be underestimated. Witch power, contains a trace of the traditional power of the witch clan, which can help the host polish the body. The host Wu Xian can be integrated after the physique is upgraded. 9 nether golden ancestral fire, although it is not the true fire of the sun, it still contains endless power. Long-term practice can promote the true fire of the sun. Quafu essence and blood, after years of evolution, it has been diluted by most of it, but it also has the effect of forging the physical body. Golden crow essence and blood, contains the aura of the emperor and the power of true fire, and can obtain the magical power of the sun. Golden crow feather, after traveling through time and space for many years, it finally fell here and used a terrifying power. In a short period of time, Xiao Xian's cultivation level reached the peak of the Tribulation Realm. Everyone couldn't help but sigh in their hearts when they looked at the secret realm that had disappeared in front of them. Thinking of the good fortune they had gained this time, they couldn't help but look at Xiao Xian. I don't know if there is a chance to enter such a secret realm again. Xiao Xian also knew what everyone was thinking. But he didn't explain much. He first handed the peach fruit he obtained this time to the 9 elders. Peach fruit can not only help them improve their realm. It can also transform their physiques, which can also greatly increase their cultivation speed. At the same time, there were bursts of roaring sounds from the sky, and the terrifying aura of heavenly power made everyone in the world feel in awe of it. Above the boundless sky, golden rays of light gradually emitted. Then it condensed into a piece of golden brocade, and several large characters from ancient times appeared faintly on the brocade. The big characters actually contain the boundless aura of heaven, which rushed towards my face. It is a terrifying power that is enough to frighten the common people. Tiandeo ranking. Everyone was looking at the big characters on the brocade silk, and several columns of small golden characters appeared next to it. The Tiandeo ranking is directly controlled by the gods and worlds. It mainly records the powerful and powerful people on one side, and based on the strength of these powerful people and powerful people. The list is arranged in order, and the list is updated every month. Anyone on the list will receive generous rewards. It is rumored that the number 1 genius on the heavenly Deo ranking has a chance to be spotted by the gods and worlds and be directly accepted as his disciple. The Heaven's Path list is not limited to the race of the genius, even if the opponent is a monster or demon. As long as the strength and qualifications meet the qualifications listed, everyone will be treated equally. And the Tiandeo ranking is not just about counting the talents of one place in the human race. In each racial tribe, there will be a Tiandeo ranking to record. Although the Tiandeo ranking does not restrict race, it does restrict age. Humans will not be included if they are 50 years old. Monsters, demons, etc. will be converted according to the age of the human race. Example, the people of the demon race are 2000 years old, which is converted into 20 years of age for the adult race. Anyone who enters the top 50 on the Heavenly Deo ranking will receive Heavenly Deo blessings and other generous rewards. After saying this, the voice from the Tiandeo Bang disappeared in front of everyone. But the entire vast continent was boiling. However, Xiao Xian couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth. He felt that this heaven was ranking against him. Because his age is neither more nor less, he just falls within this limited age. But no matter how doubtful he was, there was no evidence. After all, they are in the worlds of gods, so they are not afraid of themselves. The Tiandeo ranking actually has a ranking list of geniuses. It is specially set for young people. With only one short month, there is not enough time to improve your cultivation level. It is said that the rewards on the Tiandeo ranking are very generous, but unfortunately there are too few places. There are only 50 in one area. It is impossible for us to enter this heavenly Deo ranking. I'm afraid only talented people like Xiao Tianyun can be on the list of the Xiao family. For a moment, everyone looked at Xiao Tianyun, Xiao Jiangxin, and others with great envy. Because of their qualifications, they are ranked high in the entire Xiao family, and even in the Tianluo domain. When Xiao Jiangxin and others saw the Tiandeo ranking appear, ripples arose in their hearts. Xiao Xian listened quietly to everyone's stories. Even a person with such a kind heart as Xiao Jiangxin. There is no way to resist the temptation brought by the Tiandeo ranking. This is just the Xiao family. If it were Tianluo territory or even southern border, wouldn't it be even more exciting? Now that you have gained a lot of insights from the secret realm, you can just take advantage of this month to break through. Maybe you can even hit the rankings on the Heavenly Deo ranking, even though you are all already outstanding leaders. But you must also remember to keep your true intentions. There are countless geniuses in the entire Tianluo domain alone. Not to mention the southern border, as well as the geniuses among the monsters and demons, who want to join the ranking of heaven. We must continue to make breakthroughs and upgrades, but we must also remember not to be fooled by these false interests. Xiao Xian calmed everyone's minds and warned them again before letting Xiao Jianfeng give the order. From today on, the Xiao family will be practicing in seclusion for a month. You all should go down and prepare. As Xiao Xian's words were conveyed, the Xiao family's resources were also distributed. Most of the resources are geared towards Xiao Jiangxin and other talented people. After all, they are the ones who have a high possibility of making it to the Heavenly Deo ranking. Follow the Xiao family's genius to practice in seclusion. Xiao Xian also felt that it was time for him to break through to the realm of Deo Slaying King. As soon as I returned to the room, I heard the mechanical sound of the system. Ding, the Heavenly Deo list has been opened. The system of all heavens and worlds has detected a huge crisis and began to greatly improve its own strength. The host needs to seize this opportunity and seize the opportunity to seize the destiny of heaven. Ding, the system mission has been released, seize the destiny of heaven, Fangxiao family's genius ranking list. All rewards obtained can be turned into redemption points. Please host seize this opportunity to enhance the strength of the Xiao family. Xiao Xian originally thought this Tiandao ranking was useless. After hearing the task issued by the system, suddenly I felt that this Tiandao ranking had come at the right time. There is an age limit on the Tiandao ranking, right? Then let me, the head of the family, turn all your destiny into your own. No matter what the age limit is, all of them will be given to the head of the family to get away with as far as he wants. Therefore, Xiao Jiangxin and others must all be on the list. But fortunately, he was prepared beforehand. Let Xiao Jiangxin and other geniuses enter the secret realm to practice. In addition, they gained insights and opportunities this time. Entering the Tiandao ranking, I guess it's not a big problem. It seems that it's time for my master to break through to become the Dao killing king. Xiao Xian smiled with satisfaction and started practicing directly. And the Quafu essence and blood, Golden Crow essence and blood, etc. obtained this time. All merged together and became the energy for his cultivation. For a time, his body's energy underwent a huge change. The void realm behind him has also undergone tremendous changes. At the same time that the Tiandao ranking appeared, the geniuses hidden in various major regions all revealed their true strength at this time. And the tribe known as the Barbarian God is one of them. In an ancient mountain, a strong young man was currently fighting a monster in the cave realm. Under the young man's bare-handed fight, the monster had no power to fight back. In just 20 breaths, the monster was killed by the young man with his bare hands. Then the young man brought the monster to a village. If it weren't for the golden body realm and low realm cultivators that come and go inside, anyone passing by might think that this is just an ordinary small village. The young man placed the monster in front of the village, and someone came to dispose of the monster's body. At this time, there was already an old man waiting for the young man to return. Chu Yunfan meets with the clan leader. The young man gave a big salute to the old man in front of him. Why are the patriarch here today? The clan leader helped Chu Yunfan up. This time the gods and worlds have issued a list of heavenly ways, and all the geniuses of all clans can be on the list. Just now, the elders of our barbarian tribe held a meeting on this matter and decided to take this opportunity to be reborn. Chu Yunfan was a little stunned when he heard the clan leader's words. After all, the barbarians have been living in seclusion in the mountains for many years and have never interfered in the affairs of the outside world. The patriarch naturally knew what he was thinking. Your qualifications are unprecedentedly powerful, and you have the blood of the barbarian god. You have also awakened the passion of the ancient barbarian lord. Looking at the Tianluo realm, you will be invincible if you are below the Dao killing king. My barbarian tribe has also lived in seclusion in the mountains for many years. Even if you don't come forward. Once the Tiandao ranking comes out this time, the barbarians can no longer live in seclusion as before. It's better to take advantage of this opportunity and take the initiative. Chu Yunfan observed the changes in the expression on the clan leader's face and saw strong arrogance in his eyes. Then he knew what was going on, and the patriarch didn't hide it. Now that our ancestor has successfully broken through to the realm of the god of war, those people are coming to attack us right now. We barbarians don't need to choose to be patient like we did back then. Chu Yunfan was immediately overjoyed, and this proved it. Even if they encounter those enemies who almost wiped out the barbarians again, they still have the ability to fight. Yunfan, your name must be included in this Tiandao ranking. This is also the moment to prove to the world the strength of my barbarian tribe. Chu Yunfan nodded heavily. Yunfan will definitely live up to the instructions of the clan leader and elders. At the same time, in the Wanjian villa in Tianluo domain, a man in white is holding a long sword. Rushing in all directions, the boundless sword energy wreaked havoc on the surrounding areas. The number one on the heavenly ranking must be mine. Xiao Jiangxin, the best swordsman in Tianluo domain? Huh. It's time to change his name. In the 10,000 demon mountains of the Tianluo domain, a huge purple-gold fire cloud eagle spreads its wings. Soaring in the sky, he then transformed into a young man, looking at the disappearing Tiandao ranking. Tiandao ranking. The purple-gold fire cloud eagle, will definitely have a place on the list. The Shenhuo Temple in southern Xinjiang is also bustling with activity at the moment. The biological son of the Lord of Divine Fire has cultivated in seclusion and has full confidence in ranking in the heavenly Dao ranking. Even the Lord of Divine Fire couldn't help but sigh, in this heavenly Dao ranking, with your strength, it is not a problem to be among the top 10. In addition, even Nanyuan ascended to the court and Chang'e sword sect became excited. Those ancient tribes who lived in seclusion in the mountains and forests like the barbarians. Almost all of them came out in full force, just to join the Tiandao ranking 1 month later. At the same time that geniuses from all over the world are showing their strength. The Xiao family has shown signs of continuous breakthroughs. Brother Xiao Jiangxin is about to break through again this time. I heard that he has understood the secret of swordsmanship. Brother Xiao Tianyuan seems to be about to break through the Dongxi realm. This strength is too terrifying. That guy Xiao Yanyao actually made a breakthrough. You know, before that, he was lagging behind by a whole level. If you ask me, Xiao Tianyuan has to be the most powerful. Even if he doesn't have a breakthrough, he can still be ranked on the Tiandao ranking. Hey, don't forget our monarch Xiao Qingyuan. It is said that she is about to break through the tribulation realm. Yes, Xiao Qingyuan and Xiao Tianyuan are equally matched, and they will definitely have a place on this Heaven's Dao ranking. Although Brother Xiao Jiangxin is said to be extremely powerful, there are so many geniuses in the Tianluo domain. It is probably difficult for him to enter the Heavenly Dao ranking. It is already a great joy for our Xiao family to have 2 talented people. That's true. Whether others can be ranked or not is still a question. At this time, everyone had long forgotten what Xiao Jiangxin had experienced outside. Even talented people like Xiao Yan and Jamal Xiao were directly denied by them. In their eyes, Xiao Tianyuan and Xiao Qingyuan can be ranked among the heavenly Dao rankings. It can only be regarded as reluctant. What's more, Xiao Jiangxin and others are even slightly less qualified than them. Among them, Xiao Jiangxin is the one they pay special attention to. After all, he has been breaking through Dongxi realm regardless of himself. He never drew his sword in front of others again. Therefore, everyone is guessing that Xiao Jiangxin has disappeared from everyone. Just when everyone was discussing the strength of the geniuses of the Xiao family, there was a lot of movement from Xiao Xian's room. The powerful aura of the king shocked the minds of countless people. It's the head of the family. The master has made a breakthrough. Great, our Xiao family finally has a Tao-killing king. The head of the family is simply amazing. For a moment, everyone's eyes were focused on Xiao Xian. This moment, Xiao Xian's aura belonging to the king of Dao slayers was constantly venting outwards. Dancing in the sky with your hands, laughing at the wind and clouds, controlling the world, everything is in your heart. Xiao Xian's cold voice echoed over the Xiao family. His words made everyone think deeply. The feedback from the power of law caused countless people to be promoted on the spot. Xiao Xian successfully advanced to the Dao killing king.